What was that?
My turn. It was my turn.
Gotcha. That's my reaction when I realized I just spent $30 on a bag of chocolate pretzels from Boy Scouts this week, audience.
That's my reaction when I play Spider-Man 2 for the PS5.
That was my reaction seeing San Diego Comic-Con ticket prices.
Damn.
No,
Yeah,
$85 for
Rich, have you been watching Fiona and Cake?
I haven't caught up with it, but I will very soon. We could
All
talk
right, no
about
spoilers.
it later.
Listen, no spoilers. So I know people care about that thing, but I was watching the most recent episode. Bruh, tell me why when they go to the store, they have $90 for a pound of flour. The fucking what?
In this economy?
I was like, you must have lost your damn mind.
That must be high grain flour, Jake. Let's leave the verdict to the taste, man. Before we condemn it.
They had an off-brand one for like $40 a pound, but I was like, that's still high. That's still high. $40 a pound.
Like the flour is never really that expensive,
right?
Normally.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like $17 for chips. I'm like, what happened to the economy? Who's in charge?
Didn't you remember what happened in the first season?
What the magic? I guess magic pseudo took over. So now we're just kind
of not like literally the destruction of the city where Fiona and Cake live in.
I suppose, but that's a city. We can fix that. We can heal. That wasn't a country. That's a bit different.
Huh.
But I don't know.
Oh,
I was not a fan of that choice, but I did try Fiona and Cake for the first time, and so far,
do you like it?
I think I like it, but it took some adjusting because it is so far removed from Adventure Time. Like,
I think it's because it's its own thing. It was always supposed to be its own thing. Because I remember when the first ever Fiona and Cake's episode of Adventure Time came out. Okay, when I was in 6th grade, I dressed up as Fiona, and my Cambridge English teacher thought I was a bunny. I won't forget that, you bitch. Made my life worse. All my English teachers.
So my thing was like, I was okay with that. The only problem I had was when they cut to Ooh, and I was like, this feels like a different show now. I feel like I'm watching 2 different shows. I would just like it if it was just Fiona and Cake Smoke. That's my only complaint right now. But
I personally think that we didn't even need a season 2, but
we'll be talking about
another season, okay? Some things don't need sequels, and we will get into that later.
Oh yeah, one of the topics we'll be talking about tonight will be about that, audience. Some things don't need a sequel,
Let's just get into it, Let's just
okay. Well, all right. So anyway, welcome Comic Fanatic Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're hearing me, Cryptid Secret 415. Hey, I gave 3 intros last week. Move on, Mike.
And you're with me, Jake Tylenol, and I'm here to say that Venom was just trying to survive, bro. He was just trying to be helpful, right?
So do a lot of other parasites, Jake. You ever think of it that way? Like,
with the parasites instead of trying to kill them, it'd be better. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Bricky Wall Ace comic. No witty banner today.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim. Pronouns they, he. And no one told me that in the original series, all the episodes were 50 minutes long. What the hell, Star Trek? Why didn't you tell me that I'm watching
they're like 40. They're like mini movies. That's what they were.
They're K-drama episodes.
Yeah.
No one told me that.
Yeah, I assumed you knew. My bad. I would have warned you.
I didn't know. No one told me that. You didn't tell me. Billy didn't tell me. No one told me. I mean, I'm committing, but no one told me. I wish someone would have told me before I started.
Right.
I'm the only one here in this group that never watched a Star Trek episode. Audience.
Well, keep in mind, I just started it, so.
Yeah.
But together we form the Phanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. On our special Monday nights, we talk about the. We talk about. I'm sorry, something is happening in the background for me. We talk about the media news. So we have like a cool bunch of topics. Today we'll be talking about Dispatch Season 1, which isn't really news, but it is a part of media. Super Mario Galaxy, the movie trailer came out. Another Jumanji movie, in the works. I thought that franchise was dead, but it's apparently going to be the last one. So
Allegedly.
Speaking of sequels, Toy Story is getting. This is just a sequel night. Toy Story is getting another sequel, and Moana's getting a show. What?
A live action.
Oh, Moana 2. Okay. Well, that's something that's news to me. Yeah. Well, I don't pay attention to that chat. I'm just saying. But then we'll have some comic news. My arch nemesis Reed Richards shall return. And we'll do the Bionicle stuff. And we have
forgot about my topic.
No. So
which one's yours?
No. Actually, we might have changed the Thor, Shazam, Fantastic Four thing because not only were they announced, they came out the same day.
What?
Yeah, I don't read both. They came out the same day. They announced it was an Infinity comic, and then it came out at the same time.
Oh, come on, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
my topic was Twisted Wonderland.
Both books when that happened, I guess.
Okay. Well.
Okay. I don't know which one is your topic.
Twisted Wonderland.
Twisted Wonderland. We're back.
But if not the episodes this time around.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have so much to talk about, but before that, we're gonna do our socials.
Yes, we do have those. Let me put down my Apple Pencil because I'm working on a super secret project for myself. I could do that. First of all, subscribe because I said so, or else Austin will be permanently turned back into a wall, and you don't want that. You want Austin to speak. Trust. Anyways, you can also find us on Twitter at Comic Phanatics 69. Remember, that's Fanatic with this with the PH. Okay. I know that our mini logo looks weird as hell. Just go along with it, and we're good to go. Okay, guys. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. Do not ask what my alt account is. That is not important for this conversation. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. I'm going to a convention this coming up weekend, so stay tuned. Yeah, you can also find me on Tumblr, Blue Sky, North Star Aria. Also, my letterbox is also North Star Aria if you want to see some of the movies I reviewed on there. Wink wonk. Anyways, my Ko-Fi is Witch of Jotunheim. And if you want to commission me, hit me up on Instagram, please. Like I said before, Austin is a brick wall who just chills. Crypt is in the same spot. And Jake, where are you?
Right now I am. I'm leaving New York, bro. I'm tired of this shit, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess with those out of the way, audience, let's get on to the topics of the week. So, who wants to announce this one?
I didn't play Dispatch.
You gotta, dude. So anyway, we're talking. Put it on the list, Witch. Put it on your list. Okay, so we're talking about Dispatch, audience. The first season's over. Now I gotta ask, what do y'all think? Austin, Jake, for those who did play it.
Oh, I didn't really.
You didn't play it.
Other people played it.
Gotcha. So I guess me and Austin are the only ones who played it all the way. I gotta say, had a lot of fun with this. Really, it's been a while since I played a Telltale game. I mean, they had some of the beats, like the romance options, and I gotta just say right off the bat,
not really mattering in a sense.
Yeah, true. I gotta say, Blonde Blazer was the best. Blonde Blazer hands down is the best route to go to, but yeah, it seems like the popular opinion is the other. But we'll get more into that. Huh?
I don't agree that Blonde Blazer is the best spot to go to, depending on what type of experience you want with the story.
Yeah, true. I think what turned so many
specifically for like a romance thing, I do think Blonde Blazer is probably the best option.
Yes.
But if you're trying to go like the theme of the story, I do think fully embracing the other option fits the theme of like everything you're trying to do more.
Yeah. When it comes to Invisigirl, well, we might as well just bring those two up while we're on that discussion. All right, so basically you have two routes to go with, audience: Invisigirl or Blonde Blazer. And I think what makes so many people side with Invisigirl is you want to root for her, Like, she's the bottom of the barrel in terms of this superhero team group, and you want to see her succeed. Personally, my favorite moment was like, when she was on the bottom of the leaderboard, right, audience? And there comes a moment where she knows somebody in the team has to get fired, and she was pretty much giving up. She got a pretty good pep talk from the main character, Robert. Yeah, Mech Man, and she was convinced to go and face off against basically their universe's version of Shocker, and she was able to win. And she was no longer last on the leaderboard. I mean, yeah, she was third to last, but that was such a heartwarming moment that she had to take a picture of that moment, of that.
Okay, I was
leaderboard.
trying to say that I physically cannot play any video games that aren't on the Switch.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'm just saying, put it on the list somewhere in the future. In the future, which
I already invest in too much superhero properties. Okay, you're gonna have to let me do things in my own time.
But I gotta say, like, yeah, it's great you bring up that point. So many other superhero properties, but this is like a fresh take on a superhero property. It's not like one of the big major IPs. It's not a sequel or anything. It's its own original story with its own original characters. Which I think which I think we should all really be supporting, because a lot of us are kind of like tired of like either remakes or seek unnecessary sequels at this day and
we
age.
will get to that later.
Yep, definitely. So, Austin, question: how did you feel about the ending?
I like the ending, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how it set up your own. I won't say set up your own squad. The whole season basically does that.
Yeah.
But I do like how it ends off. I just wonder how the final choice is such a big choice.
Yep.
And
oh my God.
I think that was my same problem with I think that's the same thing I had a problem with in the other Telltale game, the other main one, not Walking Dead. Fable. The Fable
Batman?
one.
Oh, Fable.
The one where you play as Big Bad Wolf.
Okay.
This is a Telltale game? I could not have told you that.
You know that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that because it doesn't look like every Telltale game.
The Wolf Among Us. That was called.
Oh, okay.
That one ends in a similar situation where you have to make a big choice and decide a person's fate.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I don't know how you do the next season, depending on how, because the ramifications of that choice should be huge.
Yeah.
And then there are 3 ways this can go. So I don't know how, like the next season is going to be way bigger in scope than a lot of people are expecting or want.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see that when we get there, to be honest.
This is the way I'm envisioning, right? When it comes to the next sequel, and audience, we're pretty much guaranteed this is getting a sequel, because a lot of people.
They did better than they thought it would.
Oh yeah. So that's good news. But for a sequel, I can only imagine like we're gonna get a fresh start with Robert. He's going to either move to the East or West Coast, and we're gonna have like a whole new batch of like heroes he has to train.
I don't think so.
And of course, like in the beginning of the game.
No.
Well, I mean, they have to.
Why would they start where get rid of all the characters you like and just got used to commanding?
You could just give it a time skip, like say a year passed already, and all the people you were dispatching here, they all became legit heroes. So now you have like a new roster of people coming in, And of course, they're probably going to give you like the option in the beginning of the game, like, okay, who did you romance in the last game? All right. Did you kill Shroud in the last game? All right, and this and that, So they did that for the Walking Dead Telltale games,
Yeah, but I think the Walking Dead always failed in doing those choices, though.
Yeah,
that's why I'm worried about how it is. Even like say like this, Walking Dead, you have choices to kill certain people or let certain people go. Like if people remember the Cannibal family.
Yeah.
Whether you kill them or not, or whether you take certain stuff or not, it does not matter, because when we got to the final act, that guy acted like you did those things anyway. You remember that? The guy who kidnapped Clementine?
Yeah, dude, he had a god's eye view of like everything you were doing, man. That freaked me out. Like,
and they do that so often with the final villain, or the final thing, like I really have a choice. Like, oh, if you tie up Lily or you Lily here, she still somehow steals the van. She somehow travels 30, 40 miles in like 10 minutes to steal the van. Right the moment y'all stop the train.
Gotcha. Don't mean to disrupt you, Austin, but we got a comment actually. From
It might be Tevye.
nope. I'm sorry, I can't read that. Iron. Somebody read that. Sorry, my eyes are. From
Ron.
Ron
What's up,
Carriezer.
Ron?
Hey, thank you for joining us, Ron. Tell us, did you play Dispatch, and how did you feel about that? The game, if you did, you know.
Yeah,
So
so
anyway,
like I said, I just think season 2 will depend on how well they can actually carry their choices. Because even in this situation, people don't know the three big endings are. I won't say who you romance is a big part of it, but it's semi tied to it.
yeah,
You have the true hero ending where you inspire all the Team Z to be heroes, and you kill and you don't kill Shroud. You have the
hmm
regular hero ending where you do that and you still kill Shroud.
hmm
You do not have to romance a physical gal for her to still end up a good person. But if
Ah,
you just, oh well, she's difficult, fuck her. She's going to kill Shroud and then go back to being a full villain.
yep. That's a
And so it's like I don't know. It's like with all those big choices, you have to account for all of that.
hmm
To imagine the people. So imagine how different the gameplay style. Well, I won't say gameplay style. The story style would have to be to accommodate all those choices.
yeah.
Because now
That's
they're
why
going to have to pick a whole different action scene to take place in a fight scene that's designated. If you didn't like, if Visigoth didn't turn evil for you,
hmm
someone has to be in that spot now. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna bring back the guy you cut. Like that's kind of like I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can
I
always
hope
just
we have
you
to
can
see if
always
they learned from their other stuff.
yeah. You can always just write it off that Shroud came back, just charge the batteries up, and there you go. You know, like the consequences will be just whether or not you chose to kill him or not. Well, audience, in my
Oh, but I
situation,
think that's disingenuous. If you're gonna, but oh, you got a true hero ending. Here's a reward. That guy you didn't kill is back to kill everyone else again. Like that's you know.
I know they set themselves up for that one. But for what it's worth,
Yeah,
audience, when I played the game, I killed Shroud. Now, my
I don't
reasoning
think
behind
so.
yeah, my reasoning behind that is look, Shroud is already sending his army to attack your base. Like pretty much all the stormtroopers are up for grabs when your whole team is out there literally biting their heads off or burning them alive, this and that. But now you're going to want to focus on like, okay, it was wrong to kill the actual main leader of this group, but all the
Yeah, but
stormtroopers
you
go
as a
down.
hero, Mega Man did not kill anybody, nor did Blonde Blazer or anyone else.
Yeah,
Blonde
true.
Blazer introduction literally throwing a man up on a roof, and she's like, "Oh my god, he survived." He's like, "I'm good."
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, but no, that's just what my reasoning will be in that quick second decision, in that
No,
spur of the
I get
moment.
it.
You
Like, it
know?
ain't nothing.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think killing Shroud can be seen as a bad choice. This is a
yeah.
man who murdered your father, killed the
Oh,
superhero team. Basically, that was the Avengers to the squad. Well, killed
mm-hmm.
some of them, and then he has the power to predict the future, basically
He's in.
by predicting your choices. It's kind of like the
Oh, yeah.
fate from God of War, Jake, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There you
Jake's
go.
not here.
Oh, oh yeah. And also, let's not forget that he's literally invading the whole city at the same time at once with his
Yeah.
army.
So
Oh, and he's also upgrading supervillains out there, audience too. You know, so I mean,
yeah.
come on, like, is anybody going to hold this against your main character if you do kill him? You know,
I thought killing him at least would have like an impact on your relationship thing. If you're dating Mandy, who is the person who doesn't kill, and
mm-hmm,
then Chase also implies that he doesn't want you to kill him.
mm-hmm,
Chase is like, as long as if you do it, just make sure you're sure you're going to do it. But
yeah,
I don't kind of but he doesn't want you to do it. So, but I thought
yeah.
it was going to impact their relationship like at all. But you really don't get that. If you chose to romance Blonde Blazer, like nothing comes about. Like she does not care. So it's like okay,
Yeah, yeah, I gotta say, Blonde Blazer was took it really well. I mean, at least when I tried playing this a second time, right? I tried going for the Blonde Blazer option, but at the same time, I still tried to support Invisigirl, right? And
yeah,
apparently, like even if you support Invisigirl and spend the whole series like building a relationship with Blonde Blazer, you still end up with Invisigirl. I'm like, really? Huh?
oh no. So what you'll have to do, what is the turning point for that is the bed, not the bedroom scene, the locker
locker.
room,
Ah.
because get her final words before that whole dialogue thing come up. Is that I want you to look at me the way you look at Blonde Blazing. So
Mhm.
your dialogue there dictates what your relationship is in the final act, from my
Okay.
understanding.
Okay.
So a lot of people did kind of mess up there, but apparently the choice was supposed to be like if you just immediately forgive her, well, she will take it the wrong way. That's what it is.
Okay. Gotcha.
So let me think about it, and we'll talk this over.
Oh. Oh yeah, and whether or not you choose to fire her or not from the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that part right there is kind of what dictates the final thing. Because there's a lot of people who try to do both the whole time.
Yeah.
And got fucked up for it, but
I mean, to be fair, early on in this game, right when it came to this girl, it kind of seemed like she was the end game option to be with audience. But for me personally, like the one hurdle about that route is, yeah, you want to form a relationship with somebody who has a ex Superman boyfriend. Like,
the problem is, go ahead.
Yeah, an ex Superman boyfriend whose mind just basically checked out as soon as he got dumped.
To be fair, he took it well. Tell him if you kissed her and then you tell him, he does take it well. When he's like, "Oh, you are not a great kisser. There's no way you broke us up because of that."
I saw that clip, but not like I feel like you should be playing these games without knowing all these routes, without knowing the consequences,
No, I agree.
without knowing the nonsense.
Knowing
So just,
everything going like the second time around did kind of ruin some of the situations for for me.
make
Not
these.
made it worse, but it's like, oh, I already know kind of the outcome, so I know how to navigate the scene.
Yeah, exactly. Just play it as if this is happening to you in real time. That was just my logic with the whole Blonde Blazer situation. Because after that, I'm like, okay, no, I'm staying as far away from Blonde Blazer as possible. Because I seriously thought at the end, Phenomenon was going to be the main bad guy at the end, or at least a boss.
James Gunn turned it back. Okay, we're not doing evil Superman every time now.
Okay.
I thought he was going to be a fight.
Busted
You shoot him, and you told Waterboy.
Oh, yeah, Waterboy.
I thought if you told Waterboy, Stroud would convince a Phenomenon to turn evil. That's what I thought.
Okay. Man, I thought there was going to be something underhanded with Waterboy, but apparently not. What you see is what you get, audience. So yeah.
I was kind of mad because this guy's powered that he shoots water, y'all, but he was throwing up your desk to clean it. And you didn't know that. So you see it as you walk away. That's just gross, man.
Yeah, they kind of made it seem like he was such a lame hero, but I gotta say, well, if you have powers to emit water, I mean, that's helpful in certain scenarios. Like you're not exactly Terminator.
You choose to let the team know that you're Mecha Man, and the fire dude is there. He will put the fire dude out when he tries to kill you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Waterboy. He's another character. This is what I like about this lineup. You want to see these group of like losers or lost causes. You want to see them succeed, right? In Waterboy's case, my favorite moment was towards the end when they're all having their final battle against Shroud. Waterboy actually contributed by shooting water at Shroud's control console. Like, yeah, I'm helping. Like, oh, way to go, man.
But when it comes to Team Z, a lot of the choices are, I would say, streamlined. Every member of the team, I guess, I want to say, is likable to a degree. Obviously, you prefer some more than others, but that's everything.
Well, Flambe was the one that I hated from the beginning, but even towards the end, I started turning around on him. Like I like to see him.
Him and Coop was the two biggest villains they had on the team. Everyone else had crimes, but I believe they're the only two that had straight up murders on their account.
Oh damn, dude! I swear the turning point me for Flambe, right, was like after finding out that your the main character Mecha Man, yeah, he beat up Flambe during one of his missions. Oh yeah, cut off 2 of his fingers. I know. Yeah, let's not forget he chipped his tooth too as well.
That depends on your option. I didn't do that. I threw alcohol in him.
Nah, I threw water, man. Like, so anyway, but regardless, like Flambe really has every reason to go back to being a villain, right? But
Yeah.
after finding out, like, his dispatcher was the same guy who's always been
Put him
fucking
in
over his
jail and
wife.
start all this.
Yeah, yeah. Pete flies off to cool down, but towards the end, when they came to the party, he knocks on the door. Robert opens it, and Flambe immediately just punches him, saying, "Okay, look, I'm probably going to have to do that at least once a month to, get used to being in this team, to go turning my life around, to release some aggression. But I'm okay with you being my dispatcher."
Also, if you listen to Dawa, did you know he was gay?
Dude, he had the voice, man.
I thought it was so interesting because the way he put it on the team was so funny. I don't remember the line,
Dude,
but the way he
yeah,
put it out there, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Because he been doing the
look, I
job.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one who got the sense, but he kind of felt like he had the porn star sort of voice to him, and it also doesn't hurt that he has a V. His costume is a V-neck costume audience. He
Yeah.
shows off his hairy chest, So you're like, damn.
But okay, so for the two main routes before we end this, the
Yeah.
whole reason where I said earlier the Visit Girl route is probably the more storyline route, is
Yes.
because the whole point of you joining Team Z is that learning to get along with these villains and helping them all become heroes. And Visit Girl is the most challenging one, so it kind of becomes like the old basketball films where it's like,
Yeah.
man, I got to help these kids actually succeed in school to play basketball. It's like all these old films, to be honest. And even you don't you don't have to romance her for her to get redeemed. But I do think adding the romance so she has like a I won't say an extra level of support, but it's like something else to fall back on if it doesn't work out. If that makes sense. I think it's more fulfilling. Mandy's storyline is interesting because she has it's for people that don't know, Mandy is blonde blazer. Blonde blazer is actually a brunette who uses an amulet on her chest to turn into basically Supergirl.
Yeah.
So her whole insecurity comes from thinking that people only like the blonde, basically. I won't say it like that, but that's the start of it. So once you do start to know her more as a person too, I think it's fulfilling. If you just want like a romance, I won't say a romance that don't take too much, but a more realistic romance, I think Blonde Blazer is a better route.
Yeah, a stable
Not only
one.
that, she's very like straightforward. It's very straightforward romance between the two, and that's fine.
Gotcha.
But I think the Girl's redemption is bigger to the storyline.
Gotcha. And if you also buy the extra bonus package with the game, right, you get treated to comics, right? And you do see more insight into Blonde Blazer as a person. Like, she's looking to retire and settle down at some point, She's not looking to. Yeah. Well, that's the main reason she broke up with Phenomena Man, because Phenomena Man, he just wants to be a superhero for the rest of his life, being in the spotlight.
And say the thing.
And no, you do the honors. You go ahead, say it, man.
No. They took inspiration from an old Superman comic where him and Lois are about to get together, and then she finds out his penis is not compatible with a vagina because this man has pictures and all this other weird shit down there. So not only can she not settle down with this dude, she can't even get the family situation that she wanted because they can't do that. Well, I won't say they can't do it in traditional sense.
He ain't super where it counts, audience. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, when people don't know, aliens just casually exist in this timeline. I mean, this game, by the way, you get like interest this girl from a different galaxy, and that's about it.
Aliens, superpowers, mutations. Yeah, they don't really give an origin to most of the people here, like on their superpower basis. Just just go with it. Like this chick could turn invisible if she holds her breath. Okay, this guy's like has the strength of 10 men, but half the size of one. Okay, just go with it. There's a clay person there. Okay, go with it.
I was fine with the power thing because it felt like it was more like My Hero Academy, where everyone had like a attack. Oh, he has the strength of 10 men, but because of that, he's really short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
he can turn invisible. He has to hold her breath, so it's not that great. But then they start doing stuff like,
dude,
that's a demon. Her down thing, just she got red skin, but everything else is like the most greatest thing of all time. He has the girl with light power, Prism, and it's like, oh, so they just some people power just suck. That's all it is.
I know her name is Prism, but I just can't help but think of her as like Nicki Minaj because of that comment Robert made. Like, you know. So yeah. Do-do-do-do.
But
Let's see. Anything
I
else
think it's a
about
good
this?
game. Also, it got nominated for Indie Game of the Year, by the way.
Oh, there you go. I mean, hey, again, we need to support more fresh takes, more fresh IPs, audience. You know, that's what we're
I
trying to go at
do
with this.
think Marvel DC is probably going to steal this idea.
Oh boy.
I don't mean like the idea of like the
No,
thing itself, but the idea of the superhero dispatch thing. I do
nah.
think it's something Marvel DC might try to
You,
implement at some point and make an event
you
out of.
you know what Marvel's going to do? They're going to take out their what was it called? Uh, damn, what was that superhero cleanup crew? I'm blanking on its name. I'm forgetting it now.
Wait,
Wait, damage control. Damage control.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah. They'll just break that out. But what can you do? You know, they say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, audience. So yeah. Okay. That was a good game overall. Jake, how'd you like the
8.
story? I'll give it an 8.5 myself too. Jake, any thoughts on the story, having watched it? Nope. Okay.
Shout out to my friend Brooke who is cosplaying from this game. That's all I have to say.
Ooh, okay. Which character?
I'm shouting out my
Look,
friends, yo.
gotcha. I'm definitely envisioning some Invisigirl and Blonde Blazer cosplays in the near future. So yeah.
Well, they could. I've been saying something since episode 2 came out.
Yep. That just shows how fast this game was popular, you know. So, I tried going to my GameStop to go purchase this, audience, but they told me, yeah, it's not released in a physical disc setting. Hey, if it gets popular enough, they'll probably give it a physical
Season
release.
2 probably will be.
Ooh, that's true. So,
You're right now, it's
yeah.
still indie. So once they get back to where they were, it should be physical like all the rest of the Telltale games are.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. But anyway, alrighty. Any final thoughts on this before we move on?
All the people who hate Invisigirl. No. So I told people, I told Crypto specifically that I was
Yeah.
sure Invisigirl almost got us killed in episode 1.
Yeah.
Right? I was,
Yeah.
some people were like losing their minds about it, and I was like, the whole point was that she felt bad after doing it because she was just trying to, be able to use her power and live, and she joined the team because she really wanted to change. I'm not going to
Yep.
judge this villain for being a villain during that time. If he betrays us again now, yeah, it's over. But
Technically speaking, audience, she only did that because she was trying to save her life. No, literally, she has a severe case of asthma. She needed augmentation in order to survive, and that's what Shroud offered. Uh, augmentations to let her live in exchange for her services. You
and she
know?
took a bullet for you. Like, come on now, y'all get still be that bad.
And she risked her life trying to get that the energy source from that from that cargo ship full of supervillains. You know?
People trying to blame her for the Chase thing too. It's like, no, she made a choice and the Chase made his own choice. Like,
Yeah.
that could have been
Oh,
anybody.
dude.
Chase probably would have made that choice. It ended death.
Oh,
That man was
dude.
itching to use his powers.
Oh, dude, Chase was like one of my favorite characters in Batman.
Yeah.
That was like another fresh take on a speedster, like, hey, yeah, he's a speedster, but he didn't learn until later on when it was too late that the more he used his speed, the faster he aged. Dude is an old man, but he's not even 40 years old, audience.
Yeah, he was 20
Yeah.
something when Robert's dad died, and then 15 years later he was like Black Einstein.
Yes. I'm like, damn, dude. Sucks, man. Felt bad for him, but yeah. Oh, can't wait to see more content of this. We'll definitely get that. But
I do wonder if they're going to give you more love everything's going forward, or if the whole thing's going to be you fighting between these two.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think you're going to be like, oh, since you chose her, and then you're stuck with her. You might be able to like break over her next scene, like the next season, but you won't be like, oh, let me go to Blonde Blazer. I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Look, to be honest, Blonde Blazer is the person who you can envision settling down with,
Yeah,
for a long-term relationship, right? As much as people like Invisigirl, I mean, come on, like every day is gonna be a firecracker, basically. You don't know what you're gonna get. Like,
I
um,
think I don't think so anymore. I think she by the end of the season with everything going on, I do think she is changing to a degree.
mhm,
So I do think she's
mhm,
going to be more. I think she's going to be more calm and more herself, more
mhm.
less guarded than she was in season one, where every
Okay,
little thing might set her off, or depending on like the situation.
gotcha. Well, we'll
Because
see
remember,
where
he
that
was also lying and have to worry about this. The guy almost killed. If he find out about that, he might fuck me up. Right.
goes.
So now that everything's out in the open, I do think she's going to be a slightly different character going forward.
Yeah, man, what a scenario to be an audience to find yourself falling in love with the guy who you tried to kill, who you attempted to kill a couple months
That's
ago.
almost every Deadpool girlfriend.
There you go, there you go. But anyway, I think we spoke enough about this. We still have several other topics to get through. So, any final
Yep.
thoughts, Austin?
No, we're good.
Gotcha. All right, then. I guess with that, let's move on to the next topic. Do. All right, the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer, audience.
Yeah, which okay, just us.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay,
funny.
the dynamic duo. All right. So, oh wait.
That's
Let me
fine.
in.
You saw the
Okay.
trailer. What
Jesus
do you think?
Christ, dude. I was waiting for y'all to let me in.
Oh, so sorry about that, man. I didn't
Yeah,
notice.
shame.
Hey,
I
where's
did watch
Jake in
this
this?
trailer, by the way, if you were curious.
Okay, what'd you think?
I liked it.
That
I
was
mean, it's
fun to
exactly what I was expecting, I
Do
thought
you have
Rosalina served. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
do you
uh,
have any reference from the games before seeing this film?
I mean, not as
yeah.
much as other people. I mean, I watched the Game Grumps play Mario Galaxy when I was younger, but I
Okay.
had
I,
I don't
I,
really
I
play a lot of Mario games. Okay.
gotcha. Yeah,
No, I
I
just want
just
to
got
see any of the story.
I just gotta ask this: like, when you eat a mushroom or get one of those power ups, are you telling me that the shrinking mushroom is the only one that's permanent? Like, really?
No, well, it's all of them are permanent until you get hit. So I think they're doing. So I think that's whatever they're doing, keep them from taking damage. I guess.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
dude,
mean,
like,
I think he's doing pretty all right. He's
uh,
Bowser's just painting in his little mini version
yeah,
of his castle. I mean, can't
yeah.
complain.
I'm just saying, like, if Bowser wanted to, he could have just hit himself with that piano, and bam, he's back to full size, you know.
Well, it's not the
But I'll
camera
give it to
going.
you. I'll give it to you. Like,
Who knows?
mhm.
What
But I
the
will give you this. Yeah, but I will give you this. Like, Bowser does seem like he's enjoying his little palace. I like the scene where he was like chopping a little bit of his bonsai, this and that, and show Mario and Luigi his latest portrait. I'm like, oh, that was fun.
there? He living the dream. He's in the same house as the princess. I'm sure he sees her walk by every now and then. He gets
Oh
to
yeah,
admire her. When anything out going anything wrong. He
you're
almost seems to
telling
really
me
have a Super Mario. He greeted Luigi happily.
he's trying his best to get a few sneak peeks as Peaches is what I'm hearing, audience.
I
So
think I like the trailer. People don't know Rosalina is voiced by Brie Larson, so we don't know how that's going to go over yet.
yep.
But my only issue with the trailer is that they're mixing Sunshine with it, and those stories are very, very different.
Hmm.
People don't know Sunshine is where Bowser Jr. comes from, where he comes
Yeah.
to try to kill that Peach and save his dad, and all the other stuff with that story.
Mhm. Yep.
So I don't know how you're going to fuse both of them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to say well, because you can definitely
That'd be-
can.
yeah.
But Galaxy's such its own unique big story. They just throwing it Bowser Jr. and be like, oh yeah, so the whole first movie where Bowser was pining after this girl, his son was just nowhere to be seen. I guess he was abroad or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man.
No. Yeah.
Well, see,
I mean,
I'll see how they feel. The Sunshine is one of my
there-
favorite stories, but it's also
yeah. There's
so
more than Gotcha. I mean, there's more than enough content, story lore in Mario that they could have delved in. They didn't have to cram so much in one go, but hey, it's not our decision.
I think
Which is
that
that?
not only that, you saw they put they had so much stuff from Odyssey and stuff too, according to Jake.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I saw a video about it.
So it's
okay,
like
okay.
y'all just throwing in everything at this point. Just
And
Mhm.
also Sunshine. They also referenced a lot of stuff from Sunshine as well.
That's true. Why can't I get my Wario audience? That's all I want,
Patience
all
is a
right?
virtue. Patience is a virtue. Mister, I
Why
get
can't
my characters in 20 million books.
tell that to
yeah.
the thousands of people who wanted Waluigi and Smash. Okay,
Oh yeah, shout out to those people because I was one of those people.
Mhm.
they
How do
chose
you go?
over him. Okay, that was over. I was pissed.
Look, they put like Game and Watch and other characters and shit in there, and I couldn't have Waluigi. Are you out of your mind?
They put a piranha
Mhm.
plant.
They put fucking Piranha Plant. They put the 20 millionth Fire Emblem character.
Yeah,
Um,
it was stupid. So
yeah,
I like to see how
but,
Sunshine things up and how people take the Brie Larson thing because while she's a
mhm,
good actress, she's not the most popular anymore because of
yeah.
situations.
Well, okay.
But
Well,
I think she'll do
to be
fine
fair,
in the role. I
to be
think my
fair,
problem is go ahead.
yeah. To be fair, like this franchise is going to succeed on its IP alone. People love the
Yeah.
last Mario movie, and Mario is a guaranteed moneymaker. So even if you bring in Brie
And
Larson
to be
as
fair, when they
Mhm.
saw people not liking Chris Pratt's voice in the first trailer, they did
Yeah.
change his voice and stuff. He did do a better job by the time the movie came out. They literally changed takes and everything.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
okay.
don't think he's gonna like do a bad job
Hmm.
or anything.
Gotcha.
But
I mean,
I
I actually kind of like Brie Larson's voice as Rosalina. I mean, I don't hate
I
it.
think he
I mean, I
fits
know
this a
some
lot
people
more than
love
Captain Marvel. Her light voice is very well for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
it. Yeah. I saw a fan art on Twitter of someone who drew Rosalina and Captain Marvel, and I was like, this is cute.
I
They
do
both have star
I do
power at
wish
the end
now
of the day.
that I do wish they stuck with a traditional Peach now. Since
Yeah.
Rosalind's also going to be here, she's also going to be a fighting princess full on to a degree.
Yeah.
She's not a
I,
physical fighter. Because
I'm
this could have
glad I'm
been
not.
part of learning, like that type
Yeah,
of stuff going forward.
yeah. I'm glad I'm not the
That
one who
was
brought that up. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the one who brought that up because that's one thing that did was like a little thumbtack to me in the first movie audience, where like Princess Peach right off the bat, she was an amazing, capable fighter, man. Like even literally the obstacle course we saw Mario struggle through. Yeah, Princess Peach went solved that whole thing in her first go. I didn't like that. And Rosalina, I would have liked it better if we saw her progress into being a powerhouse. Start off level one, become like do those star blasts and whatever by the
I'm
end. But
I'm
here
fine
she's
with that with
already
Rosalina. She has her being that strong and powerful was always her in
yeah.
Galaxy. She was already
Mhm.
strong, becoming giant, all the other stuff. Peach is the one
Yeah,
whose power came from her emotions, and then they took that away to make her just a strong physical female.
yeah, yeah.
Her personality was great. I just mean in the sense of like her power. In any game you play Peach in, her powers are usually emotion based.
Hmm.
Even in the last one they put out, the little Peach adventure thing, they brought back her emotion stuff to a degree.
Uh huh.
So like watching her be that was just weird going forward. I do wish that was something she became in this movie by meeting another princess. I want her to meet Daisy, and then Daisy be the one like you gotta come on now.
I
You're the
think
princess. What's up? Let's go.
I think we
Yep.
might get some Peach backstory.
I do too.
Hey, it's been a while since I saw
I don't
Mario, but then didn't they set up something about like Peach trying to discover her parents or something like that? It's
know.
Oh.
They
been a
just
while.
mentioned she didn't know where she was from.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a while since I saw the last Mario movie, so yeah.
No, it was just when she was telling Mario her origin. She was like, "I don't know where I'm from." He was like, "Oh, maybe you're from my world." And that was it. That's all it was.
Gotcha. But
Speaking
yeah.
of parents, I was one of the people. I don't know if people remember when you saw a picture of Rosalina parents. It was very clear a picture of Luigi and Peach. By the way,
Oh, based off that one game theory video.
Oh
so
wow.
I do want to see if they do anything with the parent thing here. So Rosalie is clearly not from the future or anything. At least it don't seem like it in this timeline.
Mm-hmm.
I just
We'll
think it's
see how
funny.
it goes. Yeah.
I do hope after this, the third one is just Wario and Luigi, Waluigi at that point.
Yeah.
Hopefully Daisy as well. But who
Also,
knows?
don't forget the last movie teased Yoshi like 3 times, and then ended up with Yoshi Freezer, and he's nowhere to be seen.
I mean, this is
Wow.
just the first trailer. You know, we don't know what could happen.
I know, but if you're gonna tease like the some being the next movie, I expect it to be a big part of the next movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's see where it goes. So yeah. I mean, we're
Yeah, I
also
think
going
it's
to
a good
watch it at the
trailer.
end
I
of
think
the
it's a good
day.
teaser. I think it sets the
Yeah.
tone
Also,
for the movie pretty well.
we just got our first pictures of the Zelda live action movie.
But that's a different topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know if that was a topic on the list. I thought it was too
Oh,
new.
Oh, they might have took it off, but I definitely posted topics.
Yeah, no, we
sorry,
got the
Paul.
first pictures of that. That's all I gotta say.
Sorry.
Bad,
Should have
bad.
uploaded it.
Hey, don't
Give
blame
me
me.
a
I'm not the one who
break.
makes the list.
Give me a
Yeah, we
break.
got the first look. They're doing Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
They
I was
look
kind
they
of
look
hoping
good.
for Ocarina or Skyward Sword, but that's just it.
I'm fine doing Breath of the Wild, depending on how you, because all the Zeldas at least look different. It's kind of easy you to just jump around eras at least.
Mhm.
And I understand doing with the most popular current version, just out the gate. I do hope they do a Zelda animated film at some point though. I like Majora's Mask to be animated,
Ooh,
or at
I
least
was
Skyward
off with
Sword to
yours,
be
man.
animated.
Yeah.
But
I was
it looks good.
Mhm.
Based on what we saw.
Sorry, I have no investment in Zelda whatsoever, so
Yeah,
that.
you're selling that.
Darn audience. I was more of a Captain Falcon guy when it came to Super Smash Bros. So yeah.
Look,
All right.
depending on the game, I always start off with either Link or Sheik, and then if I'm able to, I play as Dark Pit. Nowadays, Richter, Belmont, and Bayonetta. So
Nice. But
I'm back, guys.
hey, we finally heard from
Yes,
Jake.
we can.
Yeah.
Um,
Where are we in this
yeah,
conversation?
Mario.
We're doing Mario Galaxy, but we were talking about the Zelda thing because we forgot to put it on the list.
Okay. So what about this artifact?
Well, we got the first look at all of them. Link and Zelda, and confirmed Breath of the Wild and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then I can go to see it. It's only like 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think they look good. I think they did the ears well. We just have to see how they, I won't say tighten up that story. Because there's a lot of wandering around and exploring stuff.
Right.
So let's see how they do that, I guess, and that's about it. Also,
Mhm.
like I asked Jake, do you think they're going to do the tie-in stuff? People don't remember Breath of the Wild. Even by the time you play Breath of the Wild, there's also another story 100 years before that where Link tried to help save these people, save the world, and fucked up and died.
They'll probably mention it in long ago this shit happened.
Yeah, but some of those people that are already dead were some of the people's fan favorites. So I don't know if they're gonna try to find a way to cram into the movie or him seeing visions of the past or something. But I don't doubt him at this point, to be honest. I doubt
Mhm.
Jake though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I only played Breath of the Wild. I never played the prequel. Or the quote unquote prequel. It wasn't really a prequel.
No. So in Breath of the Wild, they you see the flashback, the story of Mempha, her Link relationship and stuff, and then some of that's in Hyrule Age of whatever it is, the
Calamity.
Muso game. There's a Muso game, the Dinosaur Hyrule Warriors game,
I love Hyrule
and that's
Warriors.
not a real prequel. They
Yeah.
said they showed it as a prequel, and then you find it's his own other timeline for some reason,
Right.
where half this stuff happened and half of it didn't. It's stupid, but I just wanted to
Gotcha.
bring some of that stuff up.
Mhm.
Oh,
Gotcha.
um,
Anyway, all right, man. That you guys want to move on to the next topic?
sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Who wants to do this one?
Dude, do we need another Jumanji?
Well, to be fair, the last Jumanji movie kind of set up like there was gonna be another movie,
Yeah,
like
I don't remember this. I don't remember that movie even existing.
Why you put Jumanji 4?
Well, I mean, okay, the Robert Williams one counts as
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Then,
Right, no, that did canon. It is one. Yeah.
yeah, they still
So,
kept the canon by showing that the hideout that the kid that was stuck 20 years in Jumanji was staying at, yep, was formerly the hideout of Alan when he was stuck in Jumanji. So
well, it's just
yeah,
a trope. They set it up pretty well in the last film.
yeah.
I don't
I
think the
mean, this,
premise is that overdone yet that I don't want
mhm,
to see it.
yeah.
And realistically,
This
it's probably the best The Rock has been in a film.
Yeah, well, it's the best art. It's the best acting Kevin Hart has ever had in his career. Because
Yeah.
like every time I see Kevin Hart in a movie, he just plays the same character
Him,
over and
The
over.
Rock, company is forced to play other people. Or probably the most
Mhm.
entertaining I've seen them in a long time.
You know what? Damn, I forgot what his name. The guy from Predator 2, the old guy,
Danny? Danny Glover?
huh? Da-
Danny Glover?
Danny Glover. Yeah, seeing Kevin Hart try to act like Danny Glover, man, I'm like, that's the most acting I've ever seen you do before. Like, yeah, thought that was cool. But now, based on where the last movie left off, in case people need a refresher, right? Like, this whole new era of Jumanji was about like modern day kids who are trapped, who got sucked into the Jumanji world, and they become the avatar characters of that world. You had the cheerleader who became the fat
Yeah.
scientist. You had the nerd being the Rock. You had the football player being what's it called, the
Like
zoologist.
Hart or the zoologist, yeah.
Yeah, and then you had like the geeky girl being Ruby
Well,
Roundhouse. Yeah, the badass Ruby Roundhouse being basically Laura Croft. So yeah, I think in this movie, like based on where the last movie left off, it looks like the world of Jumanji finally broke out and is now in the modern world. So I think it would be an interesting twist if you had like the teenagers, right? They actually have to team up with the avatars they were being in that game.
that's what I thought was going to happen, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I thought that would be cool. I mean, I don't know how those actors look right now because the last Jumanji movie was like what 2 or 3 years ago now. You
Yeah, they
know?
took way too long.
Yeah,
They
I
don't like
mean
the
everything.
situation.
Yeah, I mean everything got like jiggled because of the pandemic audience. So yeah. I think it would be cool to see that happen. But yeah, as far as this being the last movie in the Jumanji franchise, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Has anything
no,
really come to an
I,
end?
no, I think it's done. I could remember The Rock's only doing this because he was signed on already to do it. He
Yeah,
wanted to go do more serious acting, some other stuff. That's why he did the Smashing Machine. He's trying to chase his Oscar. He's trying to elevate his thing. So I don't think he's going to
yeah.
come back to this. I
Oh
think
no, I mean
the
you don't need The Rock to be in Jumanji to have another Jumanji adaptation. Is what I'm
well, you mean
saying.
like that? Sure. I just mean like in like situation of this story specifically. I think it's
Yeah.
done.
You might see one of those kids in another adaptation of Jumanji. That's the way I'm seeing it. So
That's what the next one's going to be like VR or something.
yeah, it's gonna be downloadable content. Like that's one thing I at least appreciated they tried doing because like when it came to the first Jumanji game, it was a board game. But these days,
Yeah.
do you really expect a modern day kid to be playing a board game? You know, so of course, like
All you do
Jumanji the game. Oh, that's true. So of course, Jumanji the game had to kind of update itself into becoming an actual game console. So
so I'm just
likely
if the lights are
the
out and
next
all you got is a board game, they're gonna play that board game, right?
what? Wait, which one?
I think if the lights are out and the electricity's out and stuff, and all they got is a board game, they're gonna play that board game. Okay.
Yeah, or they could just play on their phones.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, you really
I
expect
forgot
kids
phones
to
and
just
systems the timeline.
yeah, you really expect kids to gather around like playing a board game with like 2 or 3 candles around them, you know? Like
They're like the they're like the witchcraft stuff.
that's true, that's true. Yeah, I'm anticipating that Jumanji, the game, is going to evolve into some online game. It's going to hit. It's going to enter the internet. Just you watch, audience.
Actually, doing it like Warcraft would be kind of funny. I do kind of want to do it.
That'll be something. So, all right then. You guys have any final thoughts on this before we move on?
Not really. I don't really care enough about Jumanji.
Gotcha. It was a good movie in its day. I mean, it's not a classic, but I mean, Robin Williams, So, all
I
right.
think it's classic in the sense it was the first of its type, and it was good enough that Disney ripped it off with that space thing, the Harrison
Oh,
Ford or
the
something.
Thor. Oh my god, that movie was bad. Let me tell you a story, right? Back when I was still in middle school, they had like this whole get Dr. Seuss get caught reading month. So if you're caught reading by a teacher, she'll give you a ticket that you have to write your name in and put it in a raffle. They had a prize for the boys and a prize for the girls. I won the raffle for the boys, and it was a complete Thor set, the board game, the movie, and I'm like, but the girls got Chronicles of Narnia,
That's a
and I like
bullshit.
the Chronicles of Narnia on you.
That's a bullshit.
Yeah, like what? I
That's
got
even
I got the
crazier.
crappy gift. God, come on, can't I at least choose? Dang it. Well, what can you do? All right, then, audience. I guess with that, we should probably move on to the next topic. So, which do you want to do the honors of this one?
We got Toy Story 5 and we got the live action Moana. I don't. Why did we need this?
Which one?
Specifically, both of them, but more specifically, the former. Why did we need a fifth Toy Story movie?
We didn't. It should have ended at 3. Like, that was the best possible ending, audience. Me personally, I despise the fourth movie with a passion, man. Like,
Why? Do you hate
huh?
it? Why?
Oh, because of what that little girl ended up treating Woody as. Like, what the hell, girl? Like,
I mean,
Andy,
in her
Andy,
defense,
A little
isn't
girl
it?
does not have to like all her toys.
And
no, she
also,
was
she's
like,
a little kid.
okay, but no, she was like liking literally every toy Andy gave her except the Woody doll, the Woody toy.
Forgive her for not liking a male cowboy. All right.
Oh man! To see her take the sheriff badge off of Woody and put it on Jesse, I'm like, what the hell? And then
Yeah,
her favorite toy of all time being that spork, that like arts
look,
and
I
crafts
don't think you
project.
understand kids the way you think you understand kids, okay?
I
It
understand
helped,
homemade.
it
I
helped
understand
Jesse
homemade
her
toys.
first day of school and first and most day of school. All right.
Yeah, I understand homemade toys. Like that toy is going to bust. It's going to break within a week. If you're telling me that
I
kid's
think
going to be playing with it relentlessly,
my
you
problem is
know.
that it's set precedent and it's just putting eyes. Any kid just believing something the toy is going to bring to life, and I think that's the worst thing you can say.
Wow, really? I didn't think of it that way, but yeah.
It,
Yeah, it's
let's say it was just a fork. It was a regular fork that she put Google
Fork.
eyes on and then was playing with like a toy, and it came to life like a toy. That
got
implies that you can get to anything. That's terrifying.
Does that
ooh.
imply the existence that adult toys wink
Yes,
young?
Oh
yes,
boy.
yes, it does. 100%.
Oh boy. I'm pretty sure that was a robot chicken sketch, audience, but which was applying. But
But like
yeah,
I don't think this movie needed to be made. They're milking
yeah,
this franchise to death.
yeah,
The same
yeah,
way they're doing with Moana. And
yeah,
that movie is still fairly
yeah.
new compared to some of the other ones.
You know what's more salt to the wound, which was the fact that both 3 and 4 set up a resolution for, like, the toys being away, this and that. Yet randomly, for whatever circumstances, Woody is not going to be back in the crew by the time we get to Toy Story 5. Even though they resolved, yeah, I'm going to be a free toy by the end.
I think
Sorry,
that's
guys.
my probably. Well, much I didn't like some parts of 4. I didn't mind the message of sometimes you got to go find your own happiness type situation.
Yeah,
Because both he did just randomly disappear from the films and like no one knew why.
yeah.
So that getting resolution with that and having Woody go off with the only toy we ever seen him like love, I thought was fine. So undoing that just to be like, oh, here goes another film. I don't know how you can justify that in any reason situation.
There really is no
Show how far they lived from when they left him. I'll let y'all from real. I don't know if y'all remember. They were doing a road trip when they left Woody.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's see. Also, another plot about this is apparently going to be what, an iPad. The main girl, the main child herself.
Oh, the iPad kid now. That's even worse, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the iPad's going to be a real thing now.
Mm-hmm.
See, it has eyes.
Okay, I'm just saying, this better be a commentary on how parents should actually learn how to parent their kid rather than just throw an iPad at them and call it a day. Yeah. Unless this iPad is supposed to be based off the leapfrog, like learning stuff that, you know.
No, it's a real iPad. It's a real iPad.
But like, this better be a commentary, dude, for the adults, man.
Yeah. Once you give a screen to a kid audience, like, you know, they ain't playing toys no more after that. You know what commentary I kind of would like them to establish is the fact that, you know, the only people who buy toys nowadays, audience, they're adults.
Don't call me out like that. Fuck you.
Well, no. I mean, I'm saying adults are the ones who buy toys nowadays.
Yeah,
you know,
you're calling me out because I do that.
Yeah, I do that too, Witch.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, like we
have an infamous Iron Man with Dr. Doom's Iron Man action figure in a box right across from me right now.
Yeah, which I have like a wall full of Marvel Legend Deadpool figures, dude. Like, you know,
my top shelf, like literally, I have a shelf. My top shelf is full of either dolls or like figures, you know. And then I have Funko Pops, and then I have other more dolls.
Yep. And you know what we all have in common? We're all adults. You know, so
some people, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, you know, with a kid, like, they're not gonna be interested in buying toys. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Toys R Us went out of business. You know,
well, they're kind of back.
Yeah, they're getting a resurgence because, like, you know, because at the time Toys R Us was closing, you know, kids being the main demographic that they were targeting weren't buying toys, but now times have changed where the main market is actually grown adults buying the toys for collectible reasons. I mean,
a lot of the toy market is still trying to like market the kids, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
But it's also like you have to know most of your sales now come from adults.
Exactly, you know. And so I would like it if they touch on that at least. You know what I mean? Let's not forget in Toy Story 3. I mean, no, not Toy Story 3. Toy Story 2. Who was the one person that was the most obsessed about getting a Woody doll?
Oh yeah, the old
fat guy. Yeah, you know. So yeah, but anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna watch Toy Story 5 to be honest.
I think it's unnecessary.
If I think it's actually good, I'll check it out just to see the commentary. But if we're hearing like middle road stuff, don't expect us to review this movie.
Yeah. Let's just wait to see how the reactions are of this. And as far as Moana goes,
we do not need more live action Disney movies.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, the only reason they fast tracked Moana is so that they could have The Rock still play Maui in his prime, you know, while he still, you know, can physically do the role and build the body of a god, you know. It is what it is. I mean, I think it's gonna be, for what it's worth, I think it's gonna be a visually.
Like how Princess and the Frog and stuff got skipped again for them to do this.
Yeah,
you know, remember all the stuff they were doing, like even like Rapunzel and stuff was getting like, well, Tangle and stuff was getting fast with, and so everything but Princess and the Frog, and now this.
Mm-hmm.
This movie ain't been out for what, 15 years?
Yeah.
When did Moana come out? Like 2016?
It was after 2016.
So it's not even a decade old at this point. And yet we have a
Well, after that,
and a live action coming out.
Again, blame the Rock situation in this case. So, but for what it's worth, I think
I'm just saying Disney is losing out, losing their creative ideas.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
And
we can
when
agree
they
on that.
let people have like creative ideas, they'd either fire the original director or make it a living hell for them, and the movie flops because of it.
Know what you're getting into, audience, when you make a deal with a mouse. You know, so. But yeah, for what it's worth, what I was trying to say earlier, right? I think it's going to be visually a stunning movie. Well, I mean, it's because of the water effects we're going to see in this film.
I swear,
I mean,
I think they great.
Oh, I kind of want to see what how they're going to make the effects look for that giant lava god. Okay, that's going to be kind of insane, really. That's going to be like God of War sort of territory right there, audience. You know?
I want to do your welcome because in that they tell the story, the fable of like of the rock basically. So I do want to see how they portray it if they don't do like tattoo scenes and stuff like that. We actually see him pull the actual sun down, like legitimately, like stuff like that.
Ooh, dude, how will it look like to see that, like, Maui's tattoos having visual movement? Yeah, let's see how that goes.
CGI, like they always do.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I know the Moana 2 didn't have the most glamorous reviews, but it made money. You
I didn't watch
know,
it when it came out.
That's what I keep telling you people. Y'all can get mad at Disney all you want, but they make bank. Someone's watching these movies.
Oh man.
Yeah, Internet says Lilo and Stitch is the worst movie of all time. Well, guess what? That stacks. Let's go.
Watch it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're the old people who are looking.
Everyone here to admit they watch bad stuff with kids and know better.
No, I know.
Yeah, just because a movie makes bank doesn't mean the movie was good.
I know. Just ask the Michael. Look at the Michael Bay Transformers movies. After all, you know.
Yeah, your favorite film.
Yeah, but those people are dumb. All right, this is a new generation. They're
where all the people like greenlighting these movies are old as shit and don't know anything.
Yeah. That's true. Anyway, you guys have any final thoughts on this before we move on?
No.
Gotcha. All right, then. I guess with that, we should move on, audience. So, which? Your time to shine, dude.
The other picture, not this one.
Oh, dang. Sorry, I thought that picture was
I want to see that other picture, not this one.
Okay. Give me some time. Let's continue talking about this one while I get the other picture, then. All right. Any thoughts on Disney's?
Does anybody know how to do that trick?
These did not need to be made.
What should be made? Which?
What are you saying?
What should be made?
Wait.
I saw that Disney like was in the works of making like a version, like an Aurora-based like movie or show, but it was set in Mexico or something. And I'm like, okay, but why not just go from Mexican mythology and pick something from there and then adapt to that? You've done it before.
I don't think people mind live action movies though, because the internet praised like Training Your Dragon. Internet was like,
I haven't seen it, so I can't have too much of an opinion.
Well, I mean, I'm not speaking for you, Witch. I'm just saying when How to Train Your Dragon came out live action, I remember seeing the thumbnails. This is how Disney should do it. This is a live action movie. So I don't think you have a problem with live action movies. I think there's a problem with the scripts.
I guess it just has to be good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Fuck it. These did not need to be made. Anyways, let's move on.
Okay, move on. All right, got the picture.
Okay.
There you go.
After this, I do have to leave, but I did want to stay and talk about this. So
go ahead.
Keep in mind, season 1 hasn't even finished yet. But we recently got an announcement that we're getting season 2, Book of Savanaclaw for Twisted Wonderland. All the Leona motherfuckers can shut the fuck up. Y'all are annoying. Y'all are annoying. I never saw the appeal of this lion man. Teenagers, but whatever. Not important. Not important.
Yep.
Yeah, we got the announcement that that the Book of Savanaclaw is Gonna come very soon. It's in development right now. At this point, we're gonna get to book 7 really quickly, okay? Once that manga finishes, we're gonna be good to go. But I need to preface something, okay?
What
In
is
the
it?
game, as each book comes out, it gets longer. Each book gets longer, right? So like say I can't remember exactly how many, but book 1 was like 15, 20 chapters, and everything. And by the time we get to book 5, right, which was Pomfiore, we're at 75 chapters, right? And
Yeah.
then you want to know how much Ignihide was? How many chapters Ignihide was?
What?
Almost 200 chapters.
Dang.
And Insomnia was more than that, from what I remember. So just letting you know, if we're lucky, each season will get longer, but we do have to wait. But
Right.
to all my Savanaclaw lovers, we are getting season 2, and that means we're gonna get our first female U. Yay! I think her name's
Yay.
Yuka or something
Isn't
like
that
that.
legal?
Huh?
Isn't that legal?
What is legal?
Women don't exist in this timeline. I saw it.
Oh, what?
What did you say?
Women don't exist in Twisted Wonderland. I know the truth.
No,
Whoa, whoa.
there are women that exist in Twisted Wonderland. Okay, just not
I
a
said,
lot.
why?
This is not a lot. Okay, it's mostly just the moms or the maternal figures for Ethel because we don't see his parents. We see his grandma though. We get to see a cousin. We get to see some random NPCs, and so far, 2 of the U's in the manga are female for Savanaclaw and Scarabia. So
Mhm.
yeah. I'm just gonna say this for anyone who likes Twisted Wonderland, who are gonna have my head on a stake later. I don't like Leona.
Okay.
I think he's low key insufferable. Okay, like I like Ruggy and Jack way more. Okay, I think Ruggy is hilarious, like how he likes to steal all of Leona's stuff because he's rich, you know. And Jack, he's just a sweet puppy boy. Okay, he's sweet. He's strong as hell, but he's adorable. I love him.
There
Okay,
you go.
I already know this guy's gonna be insufferable because this is gonna be the formal-ish introduction to Malleus, kind of, if we see him here. And Leona got beef with that man. Okay, he got beef with Insomnia because they always win the spell drive competitions or whatever, and he doesn't. It's like, we get it. You have issues with being second place. Shut up. A lot of us do. We just keep it to ourselves. We don't over it, Leona. Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm excited to see Cheka, who is the Simba stand-in for this universe. Okay, he is adorable, and I love seeing all the Leona and Cheka cosplayers. But whatever. Yeah, I mean that's basically it. Season 1 hasn't even finished, so y'all are gonna have to be patient for your Lion Man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah,
Patience
that's
is a
basically
virtue.
it. That's basically
Patience.
it. And to anyone who's like, oh, do you like Khalima Jamil? Yes, I like Khalima Jamil. Okay, Leona's just one of the few people in this fucking franchise I hate. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
don't hate him. I just don't like him. Anyways, that's all for me. I will now take my bow and exit stage left.
Gotcha.
I will see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Take it easy, Witch. Thanks for joining us. See ya.
Okay.
All right, then. I guess with that, we can move on to the next topic, audience.
So
Now
said.
that we're not talking about the Thor, Shazam, and Fantastic Four Flash
No,
topic.
we'll talk about it.
Okay, let's talk
I was
about
just saying,
that.
I'll just let you know it's out. So I read both issues, and it brought up a problem I've been having with all the crossovers.
Okay.
They're all so DC heavy. Even the Marvel ones are DC heavy. It feels like it's pure favoritism reading these books.
Wow.
So the Thor Shazam thing is Shazam villain who was a worm or something basically was messing with Thor. Thor was like Donald Blake. He lost his memory as well. But all it just leads up to Shazam holding the hammer and I'm beating a Shazam villain.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah. The Fantastic Four one is probably the best crossover for me so far.
I know
Because
Jake is not liking that.
If Gorilla Grodd attacking the Fantastic Four building because he knows that Reed Richards can meet something that can boost mental powers, like mental capability.
Oh wow! So the smartest person on Earth, it created a machine that can actually make people smarter. Wow.
So basically, apparently, when Reed makes an invention, he tells the world so they can find a way to apply it to other like stuff. So
Yeah.
I think they can do this. Maybe we can try to apply it to medicine, blah blah stuff like that. And that's how Gorilla Grodd found out. He's like, oh, I can use this for something I can do. He
Mhm.
wants to use it to boost his brain power and all this stuff, so his psychic abilities. Basically,
Yeah.
the Flash obviously comes in. The Flash is brainwashed by Gorilla Grodd. Sue Storm reacts to the Flash, and force field knocks him out. By the way, for a minute, he gains his bearing, but it basically ends up with Grodd mind controlling Reed Richards.
Oh.
Then it forward to the future, and then the Flash basically Sue Storm makes a construct of the Fantastic card and
Okay.
runs them through the Speed Force back to present day. But during that, you see like Impulse, you see like them fighting Fantastic Four villains, you see them fighting like the Rogues. They make like, oh, if you like the Flash, you got every Flash thing you ever heard of. Reverse Flash, Impulse, Wally, everything.
Yeah.
And then they come back, Grodd puts the thing on, only to find out Reed already tweaked it, so it turned this man into a baby brain.
Oh wow. Wait. So you're telling me Reed used his smarts to turn the genius into that of a child?
Yeah. So even though the whole book was all like Flash glaze, they still gave the W to the Fantastic Four in a sense. So I was like, that's kind of
Another W for Reed. It's another W for Reed, audience. He can make you smarter and make you dumber at the same time. Don't act like you wouldn't want to purchase that machine for yourself, Jake. Come on.
One time I asked Flash to get the W, he fails me, bro.
It brought a problem with all these books are just them fighting DC villains.
I never saw it that way, but
All of them are. All of them is them team up to fight DC villains.
well, okay, let's wait until like we get that the reverse.
Fighting a Constantine villain. Like every book so far that had a super villain in it has been a DC villain. Even here, you had Gorilla Grodd at the Fantastic Four. You know who was a major Fantastic Four villain? The goddamn Super Apes and Ghost.
Okay, I'll give you that.
The Super Apes. You could have been did so much crazy fun stuff with this premise. But it all just comes up to, we're gonna glaze the Flash. Same thing with the Thor thing. This casual, weak Shazam villain fucked up Thor basically and all of that stuff. Like, come on now. It's fine if some of the writers prefer DC stuff over Marvel. That's totally okay. But once you're doing the Marvel side of the crossover, you gotta at least dry your mouth before you start writing, bro. I don't need you salivating over DC side. Okay? That's all, man.
It also doesn't hurt the fact that also doesn't help the fact that I did see like a preview for the next Batman and Deadpool crossover, right? The reverse of of the last crossover Marvel and DC had, audience. And their biggest selling point is we're gonna get Dead Bats.
Yep.
The Amalgam universe is coming back.
Batman, by the
way. There you go. But hey, it prints money in terms of variants.
That's fine. I just wish the writing was more fair. You're gonna rep Marvel side, like showcase some Marvel stuff. Like,
yeah,
them fighting the Flash villains is cool, but like they're playing another monkey villain. You didn't think about the Super Apes. You didn't think one thing about
them. Wow. When you bring it that way, yeah.
Thor is odd. You didn't think having Thor join like the Shazam thing?
To be honest, the Sonic DC crossover. I guess in that defense, Sonic doesn't have much in his universe, but it was like
but even then, man beat Metal Sonic with a bike.
Right. We could have had Thor going up against Black Adam. I'll give you that, Austin. So yeah. But
I meant like it's just like Shazam thing stands for like the powers given to him by a god. You could add a Thor to that or something.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Thor just Shazam and enchantment for the crossover. But he gets another power.
Shazam T.
No, I mean like you can get the R and change the word or something. So like depending on what power he gets. My point is, there's so much stuff you can do that can be creative besides just being like, oh, well, I know more about the DC stuff. I'm just gonna have all the Marvel people fight a DC dude.
Yeah, I'm calling it like nowadays. If somebody were to tell me who will win, Thor or Shazam, Thor, because he can stop the lightning bolt from hitting Shazam.
Yeah.
So he commands the Thunder audience. So
people don't realize how insane Thor's current power level is. Thor has complete control over lightning to the point he can just tell it to stop. He has the power of Gaia, the power of the Phoenix, the power of all of the rooms, Room King Thor, all that stuff. He knows all that. He learned it in manual. He has the Odin Force full on, and then he still has a little bit of power costume.
Why not? Give it that minty taste after all, you know?
But I don't know. Like I thought, Fast Forward 1 is fun. Seeing all these them interact with all the DC, all the Flash villains were kind of fun. Even Wally showing up. Wally gave Barry a boost so they can make it back in time to help Reed. And I was like, even that's fun. But it's like, y'all got to stop favoring one side so much. It was fine the first few books, but it started to become really unenjoyable. Like, oh, I can't wait for the Spider-Man Superman crossover where Spider-Man's going to stand there on his hands and knees as Superman just beats up the villain by himself because there's nothing Spider-Man can do. Like, that's what it kind of feels like we're leading up to.
Yeah, I forgot we're getting a Superman Spider-Man crossover.
That's a big thing.
Well, one that's bound to give us a good story. We'll see where it goes. You know?
You believe that?
No.
See?
Yeah, Jake is just too busy snapping pictures of Reed beating up a gorilla so he can send it over to PETA. You know?
There you go.
Well, PETA has done way worse at this point.
Gotcha. But anyway, all right, then. I guess with that we can move on.
It's
Jake?
my turn. Yep. All right. Give me I promised the Suicide Squad of Bionicle, and by the way, I edited this as best I could. Do you know how hard it is finding good artwork for Bionicle, a niche fan base? Okay. So I edited this. Welcome back, guys, to the world of Bionicle. We are still in the final battle saga, but we're going to take a detour. Because last time we saw the Toa Nuva engage in an all-out battle with the Brotherhood of Makuta, but there's some things at play here. Basically, both Toa and Makuta are getting the sense that like things are not what they seem. That Makuta Pterodax, the head honcho, the lead villain, has a plan that basically makes it so this fight doesn't really matter. Either way, he's going to come out on top. And so, meanwhile, elsewhere, Brutaka, the former nemesis, not nemesis, but former rival of the Toei Nika, is forming his own team to stop Makuta's real agenda, or at least try to. Because listen, hero or villain, if Pterodax wins, it is said that both sides will fall. Okay.
All right.
So to do this, he has assembled a team of the baddest villains in the Bionicle universe to go on a prison to break free the most dangerous prisoner in all of Matanui, the universe. So yeah, that's basically the plot. Now I will say, Great Farshti has gone through quite a journey as a writer through writing Bionicle. You can see very early on a lot. I've actually been keeping notes of all the things he's changed as he's gotten more equipped to take care of his own series. In the original Bionicle trilogy or quadrilogy, I think it's just the main trilogy. He wrote in formulas. The Toa get a problem, they split up and deal with the problem. Each chapter, you get 6 chapters about each Toa, and then they team up, not like it, break up again, come back, and then they team up and save the day. And that was the formula for every book until the Metro Nui saga. And the Metro Nui saga slowly started breaking some formulas. And then by the end of that story, the formula was kind of gone. and then it kind of became more freeform, kind of like whatever serves the narrative best, which is good because it was getting repetitive. So, but then he developed a new thing. I could tell something was new about him when he got to the Toei saga. He likes villains now. So, when he first made Bionicle, it was hero heavy. Most of the villains didn't really have any development. They were the bad guys that the Toa beat at the end of the day. I have my favorites. Like I love the Boracal for like just being forces of nature. But you know, the Rakshi, the Rahi Beast, I mean Makuta, they're just big bads. Of course, we get like more complex villains like Rudaka, like the femme fatale character, and her relationship with Sidorak was compelling to me. But it was like that was when he started being like, okay, you know what? I do kind of like developing some of these villains a little bit. And then after that, in the Vakama book, he started developing the Shadow Hunters, the Dark Hunters Guild, basically, and things like that. But then we finally got to the Toei saga. And that's when he was like, I just want to write about villains for a bit. And the first half of that saga is basically just about the Paraka, or as Austin will call him, the Honorable Paraka. So that's when he developed this fascination for writing villains, and it is kind of permeated throughout all sagas now. Now that he's right, I think at first it was at the detriment of the heroes because there was this new generation of heroes coming out, the Toei Naika, aka the Toei Mari, or whatever you want to call them. But they didn't get much development because the villains took more precedent. But now that the Toei Nouveau are back, and we already know these heroes, and they're getting their development, now I'm a bit more comfortable dealing with the villains again. So this book is all a villain book. We have quite the roster here. As I mentioned before, we have Brutaka, we have Rudaka from the Toa Metru saga. We have Karapar and I believe Takadox, who is from the Toa Marhi saga. We have Bizon, who is the dude in the back, the white dude in the back with the shield. He's from the Toei Naika saga. And then we have Spiria, who is from the current saga right now, the Battle for the Skies arc. We also have some others that aren't here. Like I couldn't get Lariska because she doesn't really have like a design I thought would look good on a poster. But she is a new character. She's not really a good guy or a bad guy, but she's from the Order of Matsunui, which is the secret order that like the Illuminati of the good guy side, basically. That makes sure all the shit's going in order. Brutaka, just for a little bit of recap, Brutaka did come into the series as an antagonist. He was the arch nemesis of Axon. And he was so strong, he could beat the Toa Nuva in one hit. Like, he just hit the ground once and they all went down. That was crazy. Say that again, Austin?
Mary too.
Well, yeah. And so the Paraka stole his powers, and the Toa Knight got to figure out a way to get it back, and then Axon wound up beating Brutaka. Brutaka's thing is that he was a guardian of Matsunui. He was in the Order of Matsunui, and him and Axon were like brothers in arms. And they defended Matsunui with their life. But then Matsunui went into a coma for 1,000 years, and then he was like, man, if God was all that, he wouldn't have gone into coma in the first place. Fuck this shit. I'm out of here. Yeah. So, what's up?
Where's the line?
No, I mean, it's true. And so Brutaka went on a quest for the Mask of Life because, like, you know what? I just want to get strong. I just want to get strong, okay? I don't want to protect things. I just want to get stronger. And so, in the Toa Marhi saga, he reappears and he fights Makuta Pterodax, who's in like a fake body. And I've explained this before when I did that review. But when they fought, Brutaka had a new objective. He realized that whatever Pterodax is planning is going to be big. And he was like, listen, I'm no hero or nothing, but I am a hater. And I am willing to devote the rest of my life to making your plan shit. So that's what I'm doing now, basically. So he goes back to the Order of Matsunui, and he says, listen, I was your finest soldier. Take me back, and I will ruin Makuta's life. Free. So that's what we're on now. I think this book is good, but I think it also highlights, like, as much as I love how Greg Farshi makes unapologetic villains, none of these villains go through like character arcs where they're like, maybe I was a bad person. Maybe if I, did things this way, things would be so bad. Like, everyone here is straight up a villain. They were the same villain you saw them with before. but I think it doesn't leave much in the way of character development. Ironically, the problems I had with the Toei Ignika are the problems I kind of have with this team. I love seeing Rudaka again. I think Rudaka is one of the more interesting villains in the Bionicle universe. I think after the Borakel, she's my next favorite. But there's not really much in the way of getting her past what she was already doing in the Metro Nui saga. She does have some good moments where she does have some moments where she just try to manipulate the situation. And I found them kind of humorous when they didn't work. But that was kind of it from her. And I could say the same about all these characters. Vizon is the only one who was kind of interesting because he is crazy, but he's observant. Vizon was, if you guys know the little, Gollum from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
He was that for the Mask of Life, basically. So he was obsessed with it. He had the Mask of Life grafted to the back of his head. And as long as he had it, he was immortal. And he was just a crazy guy. And so he was like, you can't take this. This is mine type shit. And so, he kind of has that crazy thing going about.
Your dad?
Say it again, Austin?
I heard you whispering type shit.
Type shit. So we also have another interesting guest here, Spiria, who adds a little bit more. The prisoner we are trying to free was introduced at the beginning of the final battle arc. When Makuta was talking, when we get the flashback to Makuta's plan in that book, and I Crypto was here. I don't remember if Austin was here. Basically, everybody was like, at first, when Pterodax pitched his plan to overthrow God, everyone was like, "You're fucking crazy. We're not doing that. That's stupid." And then, Pterodax put some words in, put some fancy words in, showed some display of power. He's like, "Well, listen, here's the thing. I'm still the strongest person here. So, what are you gonna do about it?" And so when Makuta did his plan, it was going well at first. I mean, there's some hiccups, but it went well. And then he lost to the Toa Metru, which I love that team, but that is an embarrassing L on your record. They're objectively the least experienced team when they first started. So, and the way he lost was stupid. And so the Toa, so then he lost and temporarily went into a coma. Rudaka had to free him. And then he was outsmarted by Vakama, and then for some reason, and people don't know why, but for some reason he had to give Vakama and all of the remaining Matoran amnesty for a couple of years, and they were like, okay, this plan is falling apart. So Mizrax was the guy who was like, you know what, I'm taking leadership from you, big bro. Come on, let's go. And they had a fight. And the way to describe this fight is that Mizrax was stronger than Makuta. When they fought, if he got a good hit on Makuta, it would just have been done. But Makuta is very durable, and he knows how to fight. He has the experience to hang in the fight. And what he did was he outlasted Mizrax long enough to make him tired, and then he beat the dog shit out of him. And then they never heard of Mizrax again. And so Brutaka knows where Mizrax is, and they're going on the quest to go to the island to free him. And yeah, like I said, it's just pretty much the villain shenanigans as it goes on. Like I said, it's kind of, as much as I like the plot, as much as I like the heist, and yes, some of these villains do die. 2 villains die on this adventure, basically. So Suicide Squad rules. A character will die to prove a point. I think it's just not interesting when the characters aren't developing in any way, even if it's to be more evil. I don't really get much development here. It's just a side story, really. So that was kind of my main complaint. They do free Mizrax, of course. At the very end, they do get to the heart of the chamber. They have to go through a bunch of different traps and everything. We do find out there are actually way more islands that we don't talk about in this universe. The Brotherhood of Makuta has their own set of islands and their own controlled territories that we just don't talk about. I'm a bit confused by the naming scheme these islands go by, because as a kid, it was to my understanding that every island had to have the word Nui at the end, because Nui means island in the Matoran language. But these islands don't have that, so I'm a bit confused on that. So I will look into that when I can. But yeah, basically, as the book ends, they do wind up fraying. And I also like how Spheria is here. So Spheria is the winged Makuta, Brotherhood of Makuta in the background. And when Mizrax stood up to Pterodax, Spheria was one of the people who backed Makuta instantly, basically. So when Mizrax sees Spheria, he's like, "Oh, I remember you. I remember when I raised my complaints to Pterodax, you stood by him, and you have the nerve to show up in front of me today." So, yeah, we're gonna address that in a minute. Mizrax, by the way, has grown a lot more powerful. There've been a lot of these kind of like creatures trying to like eat him alive, and he's just been absorbing them for years. So he has this whole big giant form now. I forgot to post it, but he is a Bionicle Titan, a kaiju at this point. But he gets free, and even though he knows Brutaka doesn't care whether he lives or dies, and he doesn't really care because this thing is like, I'm going for Pterodax, and I'm going to kill him. That is the only thing I'm doing. So I don't really care what Brutaka wants. As long as it doesn't get in my way, I don't give a shit. So it seems like the Toa will have unlikely assistance in the final battle. And that's really all this really adds. Like I said, it's an okay book. It is. I don't know if it's recommended reading. I would equate this to a comic book tie-in story. I do like the reason all the people here help is because Brutaka says, listen, you all in one way or another are enemies of the Brotherhood of Makuta, which means you can't do anything on your own. So you're going to stick with me. And if you make it out of this, we'll talk about getting you freedom. And if you die, I don't care. In fact, the universe doesn't care if you die because you're all pieces of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
what a way to motivate! What a way to motivate a staff audience, you know?
That's quite a more Cecil from this one.
But yes, pretty much. So, but there is no redemption for them. These are assholes. They will always be assholes. That's what they are, and they're never going to change. So it is what it is. But yeah, you can listen to this book. This is called Bionicle Federation of Fear, and you can listen to it on the Bionicle audiobook channel. Next up, we are with Takanuva. We're not doing the multiverse yet, but we are doing time travel first. It seems like, I think.
Yeah.
So we're building up to it. So I think where I stopped, Takanuva went back in time to Matanui before Vakama and his companions populated it, like the island. I mean. So, we'll see how I feel. They're two stories I'm not really always fans of, and it's time travel stories and multiverse stories. But we'll see how this works. They're happening back, so we'll see. But yeah, what do you guys think of the villains? I mean, this is the first time you get to see the villains side by side. What do you think about them?
They look like badass beat. They look like badass, man.
They look like a terrible thing.
What?
I wouldn't trust these dudes to get groceries.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, you would trust them to go get groceries, but you also trust the fact that half of them won't be coming back alive, you know? So
groceries, they're clearly gonna eat it, bro. I don't trust these people.
You know what I do appreciate? There's only 2 betrayals in the book. It's not like compared to the Paraka book where it was like every minute was a betrayal. Somebody had to betray somebody. That was the Paraka thing. But in this one, it's like one guy betrays. I think that was my favorite part where like one of them betrays Brutaka very early on. He says, "Listen, I'm captaining the ship because I hold all the cards." And Brutaka goes like, "Okay," and he lets him take over the ship for a little bit, and then get to a certain part of the sea. And then the whole order of Matanui comes down on him and kills this dude's entire army. And Brutaka like beats this dude up, and he's like, "Listen, like, I just let you take over just so you know how fucked you are. There is no escaping for you. If you try to leave, we will kill you." Okay, there's no escape. You need to get away from me. There's no escaping them. So you better stay on my ass for the rest of this adventure. I was like, all right, okay. But yeah, that's what you can expect of the book. I recommend I recommend trying it out. Maybe people like it more than me, but there you go.
Gotcha. But all right, then. I guess with that, we should probably move on. We only got 2 topics left tonight, so Austin, you want to do the honors?
Oh. Yeah, they're bringing back the worst writer of all time to do Avengers 800.
Hey, well, he's done good in his younger days, just like he's following the trend of a lot of old-time writers, which, like, you start noticing that later on in their careers, they start sucking. So, yeah, they're bringing Brian Michael Bendis.
I think it was Scott Snyder that said it. But it was like every few years as a writer, you have to update and change your style. or else you'll get left behind when writing comic books. And I think this happened to Brian Michael Krasinski very much. A lot of that stuff that was Ultimate Spider-Man, that's not flying anymore, and he kind of keeps that everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah, you start noticing that. Bendis, oh man, towards the end of his career, like Marvel, I remember the comic industry was just throwing books at this guy. Say what you want, like he was pushing 5 books at one point, audience. But yeah, he's coming back for Avengers number 800, milestone comic, and he's just gonna be writing a short story over there. But it sounds like this isn't going to be the last work he does. This is just going to be a gateway for Bendis to have another ongoing book. We don't know what book he will want, but given his past history and his status, I would assume he will want to get the biggest piece of the pie he can of a character.
They're ending the Ultimate Universe just because he's come back.
Oh, oh, dude! The scary part is I can envision that's the reason why they're doing it, man. They get rid of this modern day Ultimates universe so that they could touch on the Ultimate Universe Bendis setup. The one that has the 616 miles stuck in.
What? They're going to what? It's going to end, and then the event after the summer event, the end of year event, is going to be Ultimate versus Ultimate.
Oh wow!
And it's going to be Dr. Baker bringing his new Ultimate Universe and attacking the old Ultimate Universe. By my bit.
You know what? I'm rooting for Ultimate Cap in that situation, audience. I don't care. I'm rooting for him. So, yeah. I think this A stands for France, Steve. But yeah. Knowing that Marvel would give him that sort of power is frightening, like say what you want, like his comics, the way his comics went back in his later days, audience, he has a good premise in the beginning. We have to give him that. But as a comic,
but long term, I feel like he loses the plot.
Yeah. Like I'll still never forgive the fact that, like, when his infamous Iron Man run was happening, he had a good plot with the Maker being the villain of that story. But then later on, he retconned it to Mephisto. I'm like, really?
That would have been a first film to Maker fought, by the way.
Oh yeah, true.
Because remember they met each other, but they directly went head to head, and he fucked it all over.
Man, the milestone.
I love that book too. Like I love its Iron Man. I said, the first extra I bought was Infamous Iron Man. I'm looking at it right now, over here on the table.
Dude, that's worth money, man. Yeah.
The first 5 issues was like an interesting take on Doom. And Billy trying to be a hero. And he fucked it up by making it all just Mephisto. And he had the whole thing about the baby. We know the baby were Dooms or Tonys, and they just never came back.
Dude, as soon as Bendis left Marvel for DC, audience, the staff behind Marvel is like, okay, now we're just doing our own shit, all right? Like, no one bending to need Bendis. Like, oh boy. But yeah, let's just hope he got the rest he needed, and because let's not take away the fact that Bendis has done some good things in Marvel, like whether it be his Ultimate Spider-Man.
His last thing in Marvel was bringing back Ultimate Universe and doing a terrible Spider-Man book with Miles, and then he went over and ruined everything Superman set up. So I don't know how I feel about him coming in at the height of Avengers. Avengers probably been the best it's been in a long time, in my opinion. And doing the short story that's going to lead to his own Avengers story, like ongoing potentially. I don't know how I feel about that.
No,
I wish he did his own premise, doing his own team, or doing like like New Wars or something first, so we can see how his writing style is before you move on to another big book.
Yeah, we can only just hope for the best in this scenario. I'm just thinking, what book would Marvel put on him, man? Because towards the end of Bendis' run of the Marvel audience, he pretty much wrote every character they had. Like, I still won't forget the fact that, like, towards the end of his Invisible Iron Man run, he had Blade randomly pop up to be the mentor to Riri for whatever reason.
They kept doing that. There's a whole era during that time where Blade was either a delivery dude or he was a random mentor to a black person.
I get in that scenario, Austin. I can imagine Bendis just put him into that just so he could get a chance to write Blade for no other reason besides that. You know, he wants to keep that track record of having written every single Marvel character. Well, mainline anyway. You know. Well,
Yeah.
it's what it is. Bendis is coming no matter what audience, like the maker will. You know. So yeah.
Credit, run from it. Bendis still arrives all the same.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, Austin, any final thoughts on this before we move on to the last topic?
I'm very scared.
Oh, be scared, man. Oh, it's damn true.
Hey, at least he can't age up anymore.
I had death like Bendis.
Gotcha. Maybe he could then. Maybe you know what? If he comes back to Marvel, give him Moon Girl, age her up.
You know what? Give him Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm giving Spider-Man this one.
I want him to have Moon Girl to give her feet. You know.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's move on.
Got it on camera and we're keeping
it. That's true. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic, audience. All right.
Wait. Oh, I guess we have another topic after this one.
Yeah, your topic.
Yep. Okay, so we're talking about Stephanie Phillips announced to write Daredevil.
Yeah, I saw her TikTok about it. As a Daredevil reader, the last run wasn't the best. Stephanie's style, I don't know if it's going to fit Daredevil. Her TikTok, he was like, "Oh, I always wanted to write Daredevil." It's like the standard thing a writer says.
Come on, really? You don't
have to. It's like we don't believe that you want everyone to write Daredevil before.
Based on your previous work, come on, seriously.
Yeah.
The only thing I notable I just recall from her books was like, okay, that Captain America, that Cap Wolf book that happened not too long ago. But after that, that's it, really. You know?
After that, you mainly like to write, like super strong female stuff. So I don't know how you really tackle
so
that.
Here's what you do, Jay. Well, okay, we already got the premise of this book actually, because apparently Matt Murdock is going to go to law school to be a teacher.
What?
Sorry, bro. Turn this shit off. I'm ready to go.
You know what? I'd like to introduce my topic if that's okay.
We're getting a new villain too, Austin. His name is Omen. Okay, so just based on that premise alone, audience, we can already tell that this is going to be a lighter tone Daredevil book. You know. So,
what do you mean? Going to law school to become a teacher?
It's gonna be a lighthearted tone. What can you say? You know,
you go to law school. You at best you need an education degree, and you don't really even need that in some places. So I don't really...
Okay, I'm reading the article right now. Right? Okay, I'm reading the article right now, and I gotta say, like, okay, just right off the bat, what Stephanie Phillips is saying, I can already smell the BS. Okay, I'm taking one of my favorite characters with one of my favorite artists, and together we're exploring Daredevil's noir sensibilities. Okay. So you're telling me like Daredevil's just based on that, right? I can only imagine the sort of students that she's going to have Daredevil mentoring. You know, all of them being what you would think of like a modern day college student being. You know, like, oh boy. Trying to see, is there anything else here? Daredevil will have to learn quickly as he scrambles to settle into a new life and status quo we've never seen him in before. I mean, to be fair, yeah, that's true. We've never seen him as a teacher.
The whole thing has been a priest.
Here's another thing that are actually doing that might make this book a little bit more interesting, right? They're actually going to be doing blind bags.
What?
There's going to be a blind bag variant with this. Like, so all the comics of this audience, they're going to be. You're not going to be able to see what the cover is. So it's going to be.
Bro, you buy this shit and make you like a chicken scratch cover?
But look, Austin, there are going to be some rare variants in this. So it's going to be basically like being the lottery, you know? You have some Lee Gabbett covers, some foil covers, some other rare covers, to do some Joe Quesada covers, but it's all going to just be in luck of the draw, really, you know? So.
I don't really like that.
It's a unique take.
For like the weekly buyers, I guess it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But like, when I'm buying, like, I don't buy with like most comics I buy aren't for the collection thing. It's just trying to enjoy it. I really don't want to just buy it and have like a shit cover.
Oh man, you don't want to just buy one of these blind covers and just not open it, Austin? You know, like I want to see that one person try doing that. You know, just to keep its value. You know, an unopened comic. You know, even though you don't know what the cover's going to be. You know, that alone will just make me at least pick up the first issue just to see how it goes. You know. Oh boy.
I'm about to say, you buy it, you know, you can open it on stream. Well, you do it in a call. When you open it, you tell us what cover you got, and we'll look it up and put the cover on the screen.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? We'll do that, audience. I'm going to personally buy one of these covers, and I'll immediately take a picture of it as I open it up and send it to here. So, you know.
I guess I get the idea behind it, but I don't know, man. It's
a new take.
One of my favorites. He's one of the ones who are very much about giving everyone powers and making them stronger, and thinking stronger it's the same as, you know, as development. Like they did the same thing with Jean Grey recently. They Jean Grey and Storm and stuff. Yeah. So we're worried to see how that eventually enters Daredevil, especially depending on how long the run is. Because to be fair, this might just be a transitional run where they just needed someone on the book to prepare for someone else to get on the book.
Oh, that's well. We know by the time the next season of Daredevil comes out, they're going to give a new #1. And based on Marvel's track record, they're just going to keep Stephanie Phillips for that new #1 label. So, yeah.
To be fair, Daredevil was doing really good. The only person who got a #1 while still being a writer, and so like in years of being Chip Zdarsky. Everyone else, the moment the #1 came around, they were off the book.
Well, so, and what's his name? The Fantastic Four writer. I'm blanking on his name. Right? Ryan North. Ryan North.
No, I said Daredevil writer.
Oh, Daredevil. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Daredevil. Okay.
Ryan North really clearly just them trying to move on. But Chip Zdarsky, remember, he was supposed to leave, and then they signed him on, so he had to restart
it. Oh wow! Hey, Zero's changed a lot of minds, audience. Never forget that. So, all right.
You know, if she really is passionate about it, it just really is inspired. You know, good on her. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna doubt her, because I'm the right to be saying anything to sell books, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not gonna be mad if she surprises me.
If I ever come a comic writer, I'm like, listen, I hate this character. I've never wanted to write before.
I didn't about the character until they told me that I saw the check.
Right, and then I'll
I signed on. I'll say, you know what? I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'll do the best I can.
No, you know what, Jake? They're gonna have you say that behind closed doors, and then they'll put you on a book with that character, dude.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen before, man. Marvel and DC had a habit for a brief while to like put people that hate a certain character and have them write that character. You know, so yeah. But anyway, that's really it. All right, I guess with that we can move on to the actual last topic, audience. Jake.
Yes. No secret this time. Before it was kind of like a random thing, like, hey, I'm reviewing God of War again. I play Spider-Man 2 after this. after God of War, and I was like, I'll review this too. Why not? I don't know if I'm gonna make this a series where I just play some old games. What's up?
I'm not reviewing video games.
I'm pretty sure we did a whole video on on a release game.
Retro reviews is to go back on a game I haven't played in like a long time and see if like it'll feel the same. Normally I will with some minor changes, but you know what? Not this time. All right. So normally when I review something, my opinion is pretty set in stone. I mean, it's flexible. You can change it here and there, but it will more or less be like if I said it was an 8 out of 10, it will more or less stay an 8 out of 10 or like a 7.5 at worst. So like with this, it was like what do you guys remember what my score was before? I don't even remember.
It was like 8 something.
It was an 8.
It's been a while.
It was probably 7.5, but it was pretty high. It was higher than mine. Mine was 7.
Okay, I think we're gonna drop it down to a 6, fellas.
Ooh.
Playing this game over again. I played it on New Game Plus. I played it on Ultimate difficulty. Because I was like, you know what? Let me get that hard difficulty there. And
you get
so what's up?
There's supposed to be an achievement for that too.
Oh, I wasn't even paying, bro. When I got to the end of the game, I was kind of tired, bro. I didn't care. So,
you get through the whole thing in 5 hours.
I think it was the one achievement I did have too. So I think it just platinum the game, just didn't give a shit. So basically, for those who don't know, the story is Peter and Miles, they have become the dynamic duo of New York City because the Avengers, they moved. They're on the West Coast, I've been told. Even though they keep their fucking tower there, you give the tower to somebody else.
No. They're staying in the Avengers Mansion now, okay? The tower just for the people.
All right.
And like, you remember the Justice League episode where it's like, oh yeah, welcome to the hall. And like, bro, your real base is the moon. Why are we here?
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Right, I guess. But and they're trying to make life work. Peter is adjusting to. I can't really tell you what they were trying to say about Peter at the beginning. I guess the base thing is that he needs a job. Okay, we'll start there. Peter's arc is all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay?
He has a job that the lab went under in Spider-Man 1. It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. But Aunt May's house is paid off. Yeah, Aunt May's house is paid off. So it was all good. And so he has like a permanent place to live. He just needs to pay for electricity and shit. Miles, meanwhile, is going to college, but he is still haunted by the damage that Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, has done to him.
Despite that not at all in his game.
Right. He did not give a shit about Martin Lee in the game. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I thought he would be 100 that his best friend, the girl he loved, died.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh, he didn't even talk about. I forgot about Finn, bro.
Yeah, because remember, originally he's an old white man. I don't know why they made a young black girl.
Right. So, it's because these games have a thing where it's like they go to the school of like what makes the most iconic Spider-Man story. Well, Spider-Man needs to fight a villain that has some deep shit going on, and that is true.
I understand that, but it's like you have the actual girlfriend who's the granddaughter of Vulture. You could easily do that.
Well, yeah, I think my problem with that mindset with Spider-Man is that just winds up being their main plot every time. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it's the formula that works, but only because it's in contrast with the other formula, which is Spider-Man is down in his luck, or he's trying to make something work in his life, and there's a villain who's like giving him some shit. And that's really innovative. Sometimes just having a crush, sometimes having a William Dafoe is enough. You know what I mean? It's okay. And so, but when every villain is a sob story, I kind of stop caring at some point. So, but neither here nor there. So Miles is trying to go to college, but he keeps getting distracted by his life as trying to live up to Peter's expectations, or what he thinks Peter's expectations are. And he's also trying to make shit work with like getting over his Martin Lee guilt. But then meanwhile we have a new villain entering town, and possibly he could have been one of the most interesting villains in the game, Kraven the Hunter, who is
is it guilt?
He has guilt for not saving his dad. That's what.
Yeah, he had powers and shit then. Like,
I know, but like no, but leave. Oh no, his guilt was like I'm letting my dad down. I'm not doing enough. I'm hurting all the people in my life. This type shit. Like that was his thing. And I was like, I don't know where you're getting any of this, but you do you. But I think at the end of the day, I think my main problem with this story is that it is trying to do too much with too many different things. Like with two characters being the main leads, both of them are doing way too much. I think Miles is the best plot wise because it's coherent the whole way. Peter is such a mess. Peter's arc is the worst in the game. Peter goes from, and I have to make a mental note of this, so I might even be missing something. The beginning is Peter needs a job, and he's worried that he's putting too much of a stress on MJ. And then that turns into Harry's back, and he finally and that job gets, and so Harry's back, and he gets the job that he's looking for. Great, fine. And then he kind of just, and also at some point, even though if you're not paying attention, you won't notice it, he is jealous of Miles. But that is a one-line dialogue that you have to keep track of because that doesn't come up until way later in the game that he's jealous of Miles because Miles is doing really good.
FJ would just randomly say, "Damn, Miles doing great. You should leave it up to him." And then Peter basically on the inside is breaking down about that comment apparently. Right. But you'll never know.
You will never know that until he brings it up. Also, Peter is thinking about maybe I should kill more villains. Because villains keep breaking out his keeping. Even though by the time we get that revelation, Tombstone has been reformed and Mysterio has been reformed. That's like two villains of his right there.
Also, the only time we seen someone break out was when Doc Ock break out.
Right. And then my other problem with that is you don't know Peter feels that way unless if you do the Yuri side mission, which is insane to me. Yuri has a whole side arc, which is really good. I actually like it. I have no problems. I have no notes with it, other than its placement in the story should have been more like it should have been actually like a part of the main story. It really should not have been a tangential thing. But but if you don't do that side plot, you're missing a whole part of Peter's like emotional arc that he's building up to. Also, you wouldn't know it outside of one scene at the beginning of the game, but Peter is also mourning Aunt May, but he doesn't think about it. He doesn't talk about it. Unlike Miles, you don't have to mandatorily visit Aunt May's grave at all. That is an Easter egg you do. But Miles is the only one that actually has to visit his father's grave, so you know he's thinking about his dad. Peter doesn't have to do that, so you don't know that. Then Venom comes along, and then his thing becomes like, oh, the city thinks I'm weak. I need to be a better Spider-Man. Everyone's relying on me to do stuff, but I'm not really doing. I don't know if I'm really doing it. Even though he's been doing fine. He only messed up one time, and that was like, I don't know, it just happened. Like it was just, I don't know if the suit with him in it would have helped that much. It was more like a leverage problem.
Jake, you talk about a character who carries the weight of the world on his shoulders and asks for more. Like, you know.
I understand, but my problem is that the story doesn't properly address what Peter's feeling until he blows up about it. And instead of having him have an eternal monologue, like, you know, in the first game, he'd be like, wow, you know, Doc Ock's going under some stress. Like, maybe I should go check in on him or something like that. Like, it's just something that just explodes. Like, it's like, it almost seems like it's fabricated out of thin air. And that is my major problem with the plot. We're not even at the Venom section yet, keep in mind. That's a whole different section I have an issue with. Kraven is good. I actually like how Kraven goes out. I think the first time I wasn't a big fan of it because I was like, oh, he didn't Spider-Man.
He didn't fight that hard. Right.
I like that it was Harry that beat Kraven. I thought that was replaying it and listening to the dialogue more because I was tired the first time. I like that it was like when Kraven says something. If you this is something that's not in the cutscenes, you have to listen to the dialogue in the fight. But he says something about like, do you know what it's like to have your body betray you? Well, when you're trying to live and your body's telling you to die, like, do you know what that's like? And I like that he's fighting Venom when he says that because that's what Harry's going through. And I was like, oh, I see why you guys chose to make that decision. I would have set that up a bit more, but that is a cool thing. And I also I like that. I also grew to like Harry, but he was pretty boring until the Agent Venom stuff happened. Cool. He was born to the Agent Venom stuff.
God forbid a guy just want to enjoy living with his friend.
Well, I mean, yeah, but okay, but that gets into my other problem too. The side cast in these games are not great at all. I hate the side cast. They're so milquetoast. The only time they ever feel like I'm engaging with them is when the plot is like in the third act. The plot opens up. I mean, MJ, don't get me wrong, MJ also has a pretty good arc, by the way. Just I don't like MJ's character, but her arc is pretty consistent, so I have no really notes on hers. But like the problem with these characters is that they're all like fucking the same. That came out weird. They're all the same character.
Yeah, they just game banging.
they're all the same character. If you break down Peter, Miles, MJ, and Miles's girlfriend, Genki,
Haley.
Yeah, Haley, and Genki, and you break down all their motivations. They all go down to we are nice people who put the world on our shoulders, and we're extending ourselves as far as we can go. But life is bringing us down, and they have less personality than the goddamn Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's kind of how I feel about it. There's no distinction. They're just nice people, and that's good and all, but like. It makes it boring. I'm using God of War as a comparison because I think that's why people will point out the story of Ragnarok is a mess. But I think what holds it together is that cast, is those character interactions. I think all those characters, like Kratos' team, all have the same goals, but they're not equally in the same moral center.
Yeah,
say it again?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Freya is on your side at some point. But she is kind of an asshole about it, though. Like, despite her being on Kratos' side, she pokes and prods him to do things that she knows he's uncomfortable with. She has a very out of line conversation about, like, well, maybe this is what your wife wanted. You ever thought about that? I'm just saying. Why would your wife make you do that? And Kratos is like, all right, stop, please. Like, and this is after.
What happened when you kill somebody's kids? I don't know.
All right. So, no, but yeah, that's fair. But like, this is after they've made up and they're friends. But I like that it's there. I'm not mad at her for doing that. I just like that it's there because it shows that these people aren't perfect characters. If and Atreus, he's a nice kid, but he has issues of his own that aren't just related to him being nice. He has like actual like development as a person. Through's the same way. She's dealing with an alcoholic father, but she also has she also wants to like live up to expectations, but she's not as far as she thinks she is. Like she's pretty far, but she's not as good as she thinks she is. The moment she steps outside of her bubble, she gets humbled by Heimdall or like Argarm and things like that. And there's just so much going on with these characters. Even when the plot's not really picking up, I enjoy spending my time with them. I can't say that about Spider-Man. When it comes to like the side cast, when nothing's happening, I don't want to spend time with these people anymore. Not even Peter. Funny enough.
Jake ends the mission, just runs out the room.
Say it again.
I like when you end the mission, and just run out the room.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, we're done. We're good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think also Peter has this problem too, and I had this problem with him in the first game, but I kind of let it go because everything else, like Doc Ock, was interesting, and the whole evolving story with like the Devil's Breath was cool. Peter's problem in this game is unlike the counterparts of Peter I like. Peter's just too nice and he's too like morally righteous, and I can't he's kind of boring. Like I kind of know everything he's gonna say before he says it. I know when he's guilty what he's gonna say. I know when he's having fun, I know what he's gonna say. There's nothing around this Peter that surprises me. It's just like that. So that was my main problem with the characters. Norman Osborn, I think Austin likes him still. I don't like Norman in this game.
Hater?
I think my issue with Norman in this one is that it feels like, well, it's also two things. It's one, we don't follow up on what happened in the last game with him. The fact that Peter knows Norman screwed over Doc Ock, regardless of how he feels about Otto Octavius, and doesn't try to follow up on it, or at least he's not looking into it, even if he drops it because Harry's back. That's a bit weird to me. That's a bit out of character for Peter. Secondly, I think that like Norman's whole thing about his dad, and maybe it's just not what I'm used to with Norman. I know Ultimate Spider-Man the cartoon tried this, where once Norman
did it too.
Say it again.
The anime series did too. Remember, a big part of him falling to the Green Goblin persona was him caring about Harry, and then realizing that Kingpin all of them was going to fuck over his son.
Okay, I might have to rewatch that arc. I remember I remember the asshole part of him shining more, so I didn't really.
Oh yeah, he was an asshole, but like he did love his son.
Right.
I think that's better.
So maybe that's my issue. Maybe it's just like even he's not really much of an asshole anymore. He's just kind of like he's just a boring father. It's funny how you will come out of nowhere to save Harry's life, and then Harry will be like, "My father doesn't care about me as much as you, Peter." But like it is what it is. I think where the plot really picks up is Act 2. This is when Peter gets the symbiote suit. And I think this is the best section story-wise in the game. And this starts specifically, well, right before he gets the suit. This starts when Harry reveals he even has it at the carnival. I think Peter, MJ, and Harry reminiscing about old times and having fun like little fucking kids. It's kind of adorable. I do like going all the rides with them and them just having a chill time. The calm before the storm. And then I do like how giddy Harry is about being a superhero. I like how there's like this bit where if you go to the smokestack and you're fighting the hunters, Harry gets on the phone with Peter's like, hey, Peter, what's going on? What are you doing? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm infiltrating this hunter base. I'm going to save Tombstone. He's like, oh, where you at? MJ's asking. And she's like, oh, I'm like a smokestack over here. I'm like, off on 5th right here. Just tell her I'm going to be okay. He's like, okay. And then he calls back later. He's like, so just to be clear, you're on 5th? He's like, yeah. Okay. And then he hangs up. And then the next time Harry shows up, he breaks through the wall. Agent Venom style starts beating the shit out of people. I was like, okay, Harry, that's pretty cool. I like how he starts very confident and then feels like he's getting over his head. I would have preferred Harry to stay Agent Venom, to be honest with you. I think he's the most fun. He's the most engaging character. And then when Peter starts getting the black suit, roughly until the lizard fight is kind of when things get messy for me, when Peter's emotions are very erratic, but not in a way that makes sense to me. In my experience with the Black Suit Saga, usually Peter's reactions, usually his aggression flares up in response to Aunt May's in the hospital. So the black suits make him feel 10 times worse about it. That was a Spectacular Spider-Man, stuff like that. Or he's angry because someone got hurt and he's and the suit amplifies that. In the game, what happens is that does happen, but it's at random points. He's talking about Kurt Connors. He's in the house with Kurt, trying to investigate Kurt Connors, and he's like, oh wow, his son's here. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at all this happy stuff he has here. The hunters come outside, and he goes from normal Peter to I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I'm like, whoa, where's this come from? What are you talking about? What do you mean kill? It just feels he's very erratic. And then also, if you do the side missions while he has a black suit on, it doesn't match up with what he's feeling. It doesn't match up with where he is in the story. So it's very inconsistent portrayal for him. He will go from I am ready to kill everyone in sight, does a side mission. He's like, hi guys, how are you doing? How can I help you? I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. I think, and then my least favorite part happens. We fight Kraven as Black Suit Spider-Man. This fight was fucking toxic as hell, by the way. But it was fun. It was a fun challenge. It felt like you were fighting Kraven the Hunter. It's fine, whatever. I died a couple times.
I don't like Kraven. Kraven talks like he want an honorable fight, but he cheats like hell. It's kind of weird.
Right? No, yeah. I don't know. Peter breaks it out. Why are you breaking the dogs then? What the fuck is wrong with you? So
I was talking about the traps and stuff, but then he just started bringing in other people and shit. Hold on now.
And so he brings in the robot dogs, and then I'll bring it up later. But he brings up the robot dogs. And then eventually Peter beats him and he's about to kill him, and then Miles comes in and saves the day. And saves Kraven's life. And then they fight. And when I tell you, going from a boss fight like Kraven to fighting Peter fucking Parker, the 7-year Spider-Man veteran, and just fucking dog walking him as this 2-year-old Spider-Man, bro, was fucking insane to me. That was insane, bro. This is a Peter with the symbiote on, his best tech equipped, and the symbiote powers, and the Venom symbiote is not holding back. The Venom symbiote does not care what happens to Miles, right? But when I tell you, this fight was all 3 rounds of this fight, I was just spamming Venom powers and Venom blast and just beating the dog shit out of Peter, ringing the bell, shooting my little bombs, and he was just done. It was I think I died once because I was just trying to be flashy at some point. I started being like Dante at some point. But yeah, you beat him. And this is where Peter kind of explodes with all his shit that he was not talking about before, but whatever. And then the plot just comes completely apart. I think after Venom shows up, that's when the plot falls completely apart. Venom has this interesting arc where Venom, I'm not talking about the villain, I'm talking about the symbiote itself, Venom. The symbiote, if you track what he says between every host he has, all he wants is to be accepted. That is all the symbiote wants. He's on Peter. he's on Harry. He's like, how can I be helpful to Harry? He likes Peter more because he thinks. I think if I had to interpret it, I think he thinks Peter's a better host because he's more active and he's doing stuff, and he thinks that's cool. I think that's what he thinks it is. Because ever since he's given off Peter, all he tries to do is help people in his own way. And so Venom gets back. Harry, he wants to protect himself because everyone keeps trying to kill him. And so he gets away. And then Harry's not sure what he's doing. He's like, Harry, well, Harry, listen. I know you and Spider-Man want to make the world a better place. I want to make the world a better place. And his plan is to turn the whole world into a symbiote, like paradise. And say it again, Austin.
I said cool.
Yeah, cool. And so, but the reason he does it, if you really look at it, what he does this for is for two reasons. One, it does technically accomplish what Peter and Harry set out to do, but also it means that if everyone's a symbiote, no one's going to try to hurt him anymore. And I thought that was kind of cool, that was like the plan he came up with, and that's why he can manipulate Harry into doing these things. The problem is, no one addresses the symbiote as an individual, like ever. Even though when you listen to Peter's dialogue, when he has a symbiote, and there's clearly moments where Venom is talking through Peter, no one acknowledges it. They're just like, well, that's not you, Peter. That's the symbiote talking. But no one acknowledges what the symbiote is even saying. It happens throughout the story constantly. It's the most annoying thing to have. It's like there's a character in the room, but no one's like acknowledging it exists. And it robs the Venom arc of like what could have been kind of emotional. If you want to talk about a villain who needed like emotional resonance, I would say it's Venom the symbiote. He's the one who's like hurting the most in this situation. He came here trying to help, and now everyone's like trying to bully him, and he doesn't understand why. I think that's something you can explore. And so Peter is gushing about his boyfriend Harry. At this point, it kind of gets like a little bit like homoerotic with him and Harry. He's like, Harry, please, tell Tony we're gonna be dressed. And then you get the glazing of Miles. This section glazes Miles so fucking hard. 3 different scenes. There's one scene where Miles teams up with Martin Lee to save Peter's life, and Peter gets the anti-Venom suit. And then Peter has the gall to say, wow, I've never reformed my villains before. Or my arch. No, he says, I never reformed my arch nemesis before. And I guess to that, I'm like, you never had one.
His arch enemy before Doc Ock, though.
Right, and you just met him. That's not even fair. Like you gave Marley a chance. And so I see what you said, Austin.
Well, to be fair, it's Spider-Man 1. I don't know if you remember in the house party scene. Well, not the party scene. In the Halloween costume scene, did you hate it?
Yeah.
When people dress up as supervillains, remember that?
Yeah, no, I hated that. Yes,
the Mysterio person straight up said the Mysterio was his arch enemy, if you remember correctly.
Oh, so he did redeem
in that intro. They're like, oh, Spider-Man, my arch enemy. They're still faking it.
Okay, well then, yeah, Peter's just doubly wrong. And then he has the nerve to say, maybe MJ's right. Maybe with you around, there doesn't need to be 2 Spider-Men. And I was like, okay, sure. Sure, I guess New York doesn't need a 7-year, tenured Spider-Man and like a new Spider-Man learning the ropes.
Slow and old, all right?
Yeah, all right, that's fair. Next up, they have the infamous scene that everyone memed to death when Peter's just minding his business and Miles shows down with his shitty new suit. And then he's like, and then Miles is like, no, Peter's like, that's not an alien, is it? He's like, well, it's a new suit, new me, 1 of 1. And Peter's like, yeah, Miles, yeah. And then Peter's like, that's it looks good. It looks good. And then he goes like, and then Peter's going through some shit. Miles talks him through it. He goes like, you know what, Miles? You're in charge of the Spider-Man Club. You're the leader of this operation now. I'm like, all right. I mean, you can both lead. I don't know why it has to be a delegation, but whatever. Especially because at the beginning of the game, Peter wasn't the leader. They were both doing it. They were both doing the job well. So I didn't like the idea that like the conclusion was that Miles has to be the top Spider-Man. Why can't they just both equally be Spider-Man? Again, God of War addressed this. When the Ragnarok happened, Kratos might have led the charge, but Atreus also had equal things to say. Like Atreus's emotions also affected Kratos' emotions. They felt like partners. Not here. It seems like Miles are just in charge. And then, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. And then you have the worst boss fight in Spider-Man Insomniac history, which is the Venom boss fight. This boss fight was fucking terrible. Yeah, Cryptid, have you ever fought this boss fight? You haven't played this game, right?
No, I haven't.
This fight is you fight Venom, who's already tough as shit. On ultimate difficulty, 2 good hits from Venom could kill you if you're not careful.
Wow.
Right? You have to take down his health bar in its entirety one time. Second round, his second health bar, he creates a Venom shield. And you need to... Have you played the first game, Cryptid?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how, like, in the first game, you heal while using your, like, your combo thing?
Yeah.
So you need to use that. No. I'm sorry. Well, I'm thinking of a whole different thing. You need to get your tech upgrades back during the fight because Venom takes your Venom overuses your tech and makes it all red, so it has to charge back up again. And your only source of health is your combo meter. So you have to basically avoid multiple enemies attacking you, Venom attacking you, build up your gadgets again, and then hit Venom only with your gadgets. And hopefully you'll have enough health left over because you still have to take down his health halfway. When it gets halfway through, he will do the same thing again. And it's basically like an endurance test, essentially.
Wow. How dare you not expect that the final boss will be challenging Jake?
Funny you say that, because then Miles has to do the same thing. But Miles doesn't have to do any of the bullshit you did. He gets a way easier boss fight. And I was like,
oh my god, wow.
And so, and I would like to think that Peter wore Venom down, but no, he did not. I tried paying attention to the scene. There was no point where Venom was tired. So, it is what it is.
Oh, beautiful. It felt like Miles. I want.
I guess. So basically, after you beat Harry, he dies, right? Oh, this is the 4th time they glaze Miles in this part of the story. Harry effectively dies, and then Miles is like, "Well, hang on, I got these electric powers that aren't clearly defined by science, so I'm going to try to resuscitate Harry with them." And he resuscitates Harry back from the grave, right? And then basically, he's the big hero of this whole adventure. This scene was weird to me, by the way. I kind of understand it more replaying it, but it still bothers me. Norman told Spider-Man earlier, like, Peter, like, hey, bring my son back alive. And Peter did that. He just didn't have the suit. And so when Norman lands down, he goes to check on his son, and the guy's like, well, he's alive. It's just his brain activity's fucked up, but, you know, there might be a chance. And Norman goes to Spider-Man, he's like, fuck you guys. What did you do to my son? I hate you. I'm like, well, I brought him back. Fuck you. So, they treat it as if, I feel like there was, maybe it's just that he's just frustrated that his son's brain dead, which is understandable, but Spider-Man did what he said he was going to do. So I don't quite see why you're so mad you're going to get vengeance on him. I don't quite get that one. And so Norman has a freak out. He has like a tantrum about Harry being in prison, being sick. And then he goes to Otto. He's like, so Otto, you know who the Spider-Men are, right? He's like, Otto's like, yeah, I mean, I do. Why are you asking? He's like, well, you know, my son Harry, his conditions are worsening. And then Otto's like, well, good. I don't give a fuck. And so Norman's like, well, what are you writing there? He's like, the final chapter. That was like how it ended. I guess the whole thing with Norman is a mess too. I don't think he has a justifiable reason to hate. Well, I guess if he knows that Peter has the black suit, but he never addressed that. He never said, like, why does he have my son's suit? So I feel like that should have been
punching the son after he said, hey, don't hurt him.
Right. So, but yeah.
Do you know how Harry was going to kill Norman in that scene, by the way?
Oh yeah. When he said don't hurt him, and then like Venom was gonna kill him for some reason. Oh no, Venom was gonna kill him because Norman wanted to get the suit off, and that's what he was gonna kill him.
I know, but Harry was still like fully into Venom at that point. Like Harry secretly hate. Well, we know his dad favorites Peter over him and shit. Maybe he did want to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, well, it seems like the way this symbiote works is that it can be fully in sync with you, but at any point, if you're just too deep into it, it will override you to do what it wants to do. So,
and I all the null stuff they hit and then don't do anything well.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Spider-Man 2. I'll just say, if it sounded like a mess, it is a mess. Emotionally, it's a mess. I think gameplay-wise, it is fun to swing through the city. It takes a little bit to get into that mindset. I think the game could. So I'm not good at combos, but I think it would be better at having a combo system because I think just doing the same combos over and over again gets boring for me. I like the web line though. The web line's already cool. One of my favorite activities is to sneak around and like hang a bunch of criminals high up in the air and then just analyze and just like admire my artwork. Like,
I think I need to get rid of the parries.
The parries are weird. I never got used to it. I can never do the parries.
It doesn't make sense. Peter's a person who spider sense allows him to dodge. Why would he start parrying?
Right. And anytime it came up in combat, I just didn't like. I always forgot it was there. I was like, "What the fuck does it keep telling me to do? What's the blue thing for?" But yeah, but that was my thoughts on the game. Austin, I want to tell you, you do not have to redo the radio sections. Like, you don't have to re-unlock the map. You have to re-unlock fast travel, but not the map itself. You don't have to do the satellite thing. So if you want to
play the first game, that's why I could replay the first game.
Oh, yeah. But if you want to replay the second game, you can do that. But what? But anything you want to add?
I'm gonna live vicariously through you. I heard your review.
Well, anything you wanted to add to this that maybe it wasn't addressed the first time?
Talk about Danica, whatever her name was.
Oh, I hate Danica. In the game, this started in Miles' game. There's a new podcaster in town. Her name is Danica. She is the foil to J. Jonah Jameson. But because she exists, they had to make J. Jonah Jameson worse. In the first Insomniac Spider-Man game, Jonah was clearly wrong, but if you didn't know the situation, he sounded right most times. Like if you out of context, if you're like, yeah, I guess it is weird. Did Spider-Man really have to rip apart the Bank of New York City to beat Shocker? That is kind of weird. I do agree with you. And this one, ever since they introduced Danica, they make Jameson just blatantly wrong about shit. It just seems kind of like dumb to me. But my other problem with Danica is that Danica has this annoying ability where she knows the plot as if she was there that day. Basically, like no matter what Spider-Man's doing, even if it looks weird from an outside perspective, they'll be like, she'll know exactly what's going on. I think like she's the first to bring up. I know she brings this up after the Peter incident, but he's like, guys, have you noticed that Spider-Man's getting more aggressive lately? I think it has something to do with that black suit he's wearing on. I'm like, all right, okay. I don't know how you made that inference. He wears a bunch of suits. Why is it the black suit? Why isn't he just like going through some shit? I guess wouldn't be my first guess. I guess. I remember skipping through Laverdale. I couldn't really cite everything she says this time because I actively tried avoiding her dialogue this time around because it was annoying. She's just another one of those characters where like she's always right, no matter what she says. There's no part of being wrong. I remember when the game ends, the one that did annoy me when she was like, "Guys, we did it. We survived the symbiote invasion. We are all heroes." And yes, Spider-Man saved the day, but we are all heroes here. I'm like, shut up.
What?
Like, shut up.
Okay, who's coming back home with battle scars? I gotta ask. You know?
Imagine soldiers fighting and dying for your country. Like, guys, America soldiers saved our lives, but we are all the heroes here. We all pitched in. Like, shut up.
That's like hearing "We Are Team Flash" for like some random bystander. Like, hold on, who are you? What did you do?
Right.
I scared you on.
Right. So, but Jonah continues to be funny, even if I don't like the way they wrote him. There's some scenes where I think it's funny, like the one where MJ quits, and he's like, "And also, Jonah, I quit." And then you just hear Jonah goes like, "What's up?" Like they hang up the phone. I was like, that's pretty funny. Despite how much they keep trying to make him like the worst person ever, he does continue to be interesting to me. He continues to be a funny character. I will say one last thing, and then I'll hand over to Austin. If Austin has anything to say, we'll just close out. My other problem with this game is that New York is too nice. I don't like glazing Raimi Spider-Man more than it needs to be because people will overglaze that movie. But what I loved about that movie is that New Yorkers, despite Spider-Man saving them every day, as Peter Parker, some New Yorkers were just fucking assholes. You know what I mean? And I think that was
like something freaky do or something wacky do.
Right. I like the guy who was like I think it was like the pizza delivery, and he delivered it late, and the lady wouldn't give him like and the lady was like, we don't have to pay for it, so you gotta take that back. Or we get it for free or something like that. Or you saw like the lady on the street corner. I mean, she was big an asshole, but it added more personality. The lady on the street corner, while he's swinging around, you just hear the lady go like, "Spider-Man, Spider-Man." Like there was a little quirks and personalities to the city, so it didn't feel utopian, but it felt like it was a living city. Or how things were unfair. Like, people meme him a lot, but the landlord in Spider-Man is a good character for that universe because it reminds people that Peter lives in an unfair world. There are just so many things like that. They're just not here. So New York just doesn't have
nothing wrong with wanting rent. Okay,
right. So while there are people who are nice, it doesn't feel real. It feels like I'm living in Metropolis, not in New York City. So that was my main issue with that. But yeah, that was my thoughts on Spider-Man 2. I think it's a 6 out of 10. I think the Act 2 is the strongest act. Gameplay is solid. I think the boss fights kind of extend too long. Too many, different... You have to fight the bosses way too many times the closer you get to the end. The fact that you have to fight Venom 4 times is crazy. Anyway, I'll leave it off to Austin if he wants to do any final thoughts, and then we'll close out. You got anything else?
Okay.
Yeah,
That's it?
We did everything.
Okay. Well,
I think that's the first time we ever did a second review on something we already talked about. Yeah.
Well, we talked about. Well, I don't know if I talked about God of War on the channel, but I think it's just cool to do. I think I was just replaying these games, seeing if I have the same thoughts or opinions, or if I've learned anything new. That's just a fun thing to do. I don't know if I'll do it all the time, but
it's almost like you're rewatching a Marvel movie again and changing your viewpoints on it, right?
But I don't do that. I don't do that. But that's what I think this game, I felt like I had to talk about it because this is one of those instances where that's rare for me. Usually, the first time I watch something, usually my opinion is in the ballpark. I've never dropped this far down in opinions about something before.
Wow.
Unless it was something I watched when I was like a child, but that's not it. So.
Gotcha. Well, there's first for everything, Yeah. So,
But,
wow. Oh. We reached the end, audience. Thank you for joining us, and please tune in tomorrow when we talk about the comic books of the week and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
We'll see you around.
See you guys next time. See ya.